We be live!
Hello.
Hi. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Atheist Republic.
We're going to have a
We
good
are
show
going to.
today.
We are, yeah. I heard
There's so
you
many
have a lot of.
juicy things to cover. Like I was telling you yesterday that I think this might be the juiciest
Oh, wow.
episode of all the stories we've had in a long time. Like there's so many juicy stories in one episode. It's too much to handle.
Oh, look at this. I like this. Long live the Republic. Wow. Soha is saying audio is great. Secular Sakai is saying hello, everyone, and good evening from Shiha. Guys, tell us where you're watching from because we want to show everybody that we have a very international audience from all around the world, and also our news. So, for people who are new here, we every week we cover 10 different religion-related news items, and from all around the world. So it's our audience that is global, and our news is also very global. It's the most global YouTube religion-related news live stream ever. So it doesn't have a Western focus. It doesn't have a Middle Eastern focus. It doesn't have like an India, Pakistan focus. Well, we have news from everywhere. Like last week, we had news, religion, Islam, and Islam-related news from Japan. Like it's weird. Like we have news from Egypt, Bangladesh. What countries do we have today, Susie? Just to
Well,
show.
today we have honestly a lot of stuff going down on Twitter. So that's technically
Oh, okay.
global. Um,
Yes, sir.
we have stories from Iran, a juicy story from Ukraine that goes in a direction I never expected.
Oh yeah.
Minneapolis, United States,
Hinduism and Ukraine together. Imagine that, right? Hinduism
India.
and Ukraine. I didn't think like we will cover Ukraine much on our religion related news. That
Yeah,
wasn't very relevant. Yeah. But
yeah,
now
yeah, yeah.
Ukraine is on. We have Ukraine and Hinduism together in one news item, Hinduism and Ukraine. So that's weird. Never thought that would happen. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Hara Sultan is watching live. He's saying, "I know what
Oh
that's
yeah.
about." Yup.
Yeah, actually the first place I saw it was from Harris. Harris sent me that. Yeah.
That's
So
funny.
yeah. All right. What else? What other countries? What other countries?
Iran, India, Pakistan,
Ukraine.
the United States, and
Mm.
those are the main ones. Yeah.
And is it mostly tragic, funny,
No, this is
weird?
mostly hilarious, juicy. We
Oh,
only have
good.
one tragic story, and it's the one from Pakistan. I'm not gonna lie.
Ugh, Pakistan. Yeah.
Yeah, look
Yeah.
at Horace
Pakistan
already
is.
knows. He just goes, "Oh, something bad happened again in Pakistan."
Yeah. When it's Pakistan is often unfortunately religion in Pakistan. We don't have that many good religion related news from Pakistan. Unfortunately. Yeah.
And when we
It's
do have good news from Pakistan, it's like, "Oh, they're not gonna kill someone over religion."
yes.
The
Somebody
good
was
news
supposed
is
to
like they
die
changed their
and they
mind
did
and
it.
someone's not gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard doing this show, people. Is just religion, like as an atheist channel doing religion related news, coming up with good news is a challenge. But Susanna and Dee and the rest of the team really do try. Okay, but yeah.
This is such a dumb joke. Charles is saying it's called Islamabad for a reason.
uh,
Uh,
okay, that's good. I like it. All right, so let's go with the first news. Can we clap for the first news?
yes. Oh
Yes.
my
Okay.
god. This is gonna be so much fun.
First news.
First news, Andrew Tate's Quran challenge backfired massively. So, I would like Armin to take over and explain a little bit
Oh,
about this news story because you have been involved in the Quran challenge, I guess, many a time over the years, and our top G himself, Andrew Tate, decided to step into the fray, and you yourself had a response and an answer. So, what happened was a little while ago, someone tweeted a photo of the Satanic Temple, someone at the Satanic Temple convention shredding a Bible. And what did Andrew Tate have to say in response, Armin?
Well, before I tell you, okay, I'm going to
Mm.
show you the tweet and I'm going to start a challenge, okay? I want you to tell me, for people who know what happened, don't respond. People who don't know about the story, I want you to tell me why this is stupid, why this was a dumb idea. Okay, so I'm going to show you the tweet. By the way, this tweet was deleted by Andrew Tate because
Mhm.
obviously he realized what a dumb mistake he made. But so I managed to find a place that has reconstructed that tweet. So this is the entirety of the tweet because this tweet does not exist anymore. But this is it. So Andrew Tate. So first of all, there's a video of this lady from the Satanic Temple, and she is tearing apart the Bible, right? So it's posted by Fox News and says, "Hail Satan, Satan! Oh, it's Satan con goers." So apparently there was a convention by Satanists. So Satan con goers shred Bible. What is this? Pro cop flag during. Okay, so that's a different part of it. So the fact, this is the important part of it, that they're shredding the Bible. So let's watch this video. This is, oh, let's do it with audio because it makes it more impactful. So this is a lady, a Satanist lady, ripping apart the Bible. Bass. Looks pretty badass.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Hail
So
Satan!
that hell. So that looks pretty badass. I like it. I approve. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Andrew Tate quote tweeted that and said, "Try the Quran if you're so brave." Okay. So tell me, and with a smiley face, tell me in the. All right. Tell me in the live chat why that is dumb. Oh,
Because he's openly daring
wait,
people to.
no! Oh, I was gonna let people guess it, but it's okay. You said it already, so
I
tell
mean,
people.
it's obvious, right? It's the only.
Okay.
What are you talking about? You gave it
Okay, but
away.
if it's obvious, no, I wanted to demonstrate how stupid Andrew Tate is, because if it's obvious, I wanted to show that even people, like most people, would get it. Right?
Mhm.
Like most people are
Mhm.
like, no, you don't want to do that, right? Like average people would get that.
Yeah.
Because you're a Muslim, Andrew Tate, and what do you think is going to happen when you say that? This is a challenge. Muslims don't want to see, most Muslims, I'm assuming, okay, don't want to see the Quran is being desecrated, and you are putting up a challenge with the mass giant audience that you have. You're putting up a challenge on social media for people to go desecrate the Quran. So what do you think, like, with the number of people that you follow, do you think like nobody would dare? Like, this guy is an idiot. He actually converted to Islam because of this reason. He
Yes.
thought, when he was telling people that why he's converting to Islam is like because nobody would dare insult Muhammad or the Quran. Go, if you're brave enough, go there. Nobody would do that. Like, Andrew, are you insane? Obviously, some people do that. You know, many people have
Well,
done that. I have done that.
it's weird
Okay,
that Muslims have never called him out for explicitly saying to the public that he essentially converted to Islam because he appreciates the real threat of real life violence against people who dissent.
yeah, no, this is what you're watching. So that's the second problem I have with it. There are two main problems which we will look at now as the what happened in response. By the way, I don't know if I could see what happened in response because the tweet is deleted, right? Oh, by the way, if you want to see like the reactions like before the tweet was taken down, I think Harris did it on his channel, Harris Sultan, so you
Well,
can
I
see all of
included
the
some
response.
reactions in the show notes
Oh,
too.
you did? Okay, cool,
So
cool,
go
cool.
pull those up.
Yeah, we could pull those up. But the first problem is Muslims will now be frustrated with you, Andrew Tate, because every single desecration of a Quran that is in response to this will be because you challenged people to do it, right? So this is, and in Islam, you would, if you do, so we have even verses in the Quran specifically telling you that don't do something that will make other people be insulting to Muhammad or Allah, for them to be blasphemous, because their sin would be also upon your shoulders if you incited them in a way that they are blasphemous. So Andrew Tate, by all the blasphemy that we and everyone else is doing in response, he's sharing that sin because he is responsible for us blaspheming, right? That's his first problem.
Damn.
What? What?
That's a lot of sins on your head.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah. The second problem with this tweet, which is actually the bigger problem. So the first one is the funny one because we're laughing at him because it seems like he's on our side. Like it seems like he is encouraging people to desecrate the Quran, right? Like he so the second problem is, right, is he's endorsing violence.
Yes.
This is an endorsement of violence. When he was converting to Islam, he said that he likes Islam because people are intimidated to fight Islam, to insult Islam. And Christianity is weak because people don't care about insulting Jesus or the Bible, right? But think about what he's actually saying. Why are people intimidated to insult Islam? Because of violence. So he's proud of he likes Islam because of the threats of violence. This tweet, what you're seeing right here, is an endorsement of threats of violence. And I don't know if people understand that that's what this is. Like, is it obvious? Isn't it obvious that that's what it is?
I mean, to our audience, it's obvious. Yeah, Shriyash is saying, one, threats of violence makes things hard for an average Muslim. Well, that's another good point. I'll get back to that. And two, people reacted by shredding the Iblis out of the Quran.
So I like that reaction.
In more ways than one. But this is true. When you have someone that is he's, very infamous, whether you like him or not, a lot of people know who Andrew Tate is, and now he's a very public Muslim. And this is why what he's openly praising about what he likes about Islam. I think Shriyash has a good point in seeing that attitude and having such visibility on that attitude actually makes things harder for your average Muslim. What do you think?
Because the average Muslim. So by
how many
endorsing
years have they, like the American Muslim community, spent saying, this is not who we are, this is not our community, this is not what we support?
You're right.
Decades. And then they have this guy being like, no, this is what we like, we want more of it.
That's a very good point, because a lot of Muslims in North America, young Muslims, have been encouraged to tell people to take the side of being peaceful and not, to call out violence, to be anti-violence, right? To in at least with the aim of trying to show that being a Muslim is not associated with being violence, because that's what the image a lot of people had after 9/11. A lot of the Islamic activism in North America was to try to challenge that stereotype that being Muslim means being violent, right? So now Andrew Tate comes along, and Andrew Tate has a major popularity among young people, everywhere, including North America, for example, right? And he's basically destroying all of that propaganda, destroying all of that messaging by saying that you should take pride in that. Yeah, all of that whitewashing by telling young people, including many young Muslims, and he's making Islam more popular now because he's popular among young men, and he's telling people that that's actually something to take pride in, because look, your violence has led to people being scared. That's a demonstration of strength. And you shouldn't cower away from that. You should be proud of that.
Well, right? It's an inherently authoritarian position and orientation. It's an inherently authoritarian orientation because he is equating fear with power. And as someone who has been accused and has very convincing evidence that I have seen against him in terms of being an abuser and a sex trafficker, a pimp, that's a similar relationship. The fear is power.
Yeah.
The fear
Yes.
that you maintain
And,
over others is the power that you have over them. And so
and it's
he's
the
kind of replicating that outwards.
exactly. And what we have to, I think the counter message that us and a lot of other people need to focus on is that it's the opposite. I don't know how to. And the only way I think, the best way I think I could demonstrate this is by an example, right? Like if somebody, let's say you're in a bar, right? And somebody comes and insults you. And then you just lose your mind and start like throwing things at them and try to punch them, right? That's not a demonstration of strength. That's a demonstration of weakness. If you compare that to another man and you come insult him and he just looks at you like nothing happened and he's not bothered by your insult, that's actually a demonstration of strength.
It
So
depends on
Andrew
the
Tate.
environment. I'm going to be honest. I think it very much
Hmm,
depends on the environment. If you're in jail, if you live in certain neighborhoods and a man calls another man a bitch and you do not respond to that with straight up like physical assault, then you are demonstrating to everyone else in your environment that you are someone that can be taken advantage of and bitched out. So sometimes
okay,
there are
in
contexts
jail.
where, yeah, like in county jail, like
All right,
that's
but
no
I think
joke.
when it comes, but I think when it comes to attacking or mocking or criticizing ideologies, the example I gave is more representative of that. If an ideology, so yeah, there are certain situations maybe in jail that might make sense, right? But an ideology that if you mock or attack it, for it to defend itself it requires violence. That is a weak ideology because it doesn't have any legs to stand on. It doesn't have a strong foundation to
Oh,
not
I
be
agree.
bothered by mocking, right? So that would
Yeah, yeah,
be,
yeah.
in that case, a violent response. If you have something of value, then mocking it, or criticizing it or attacking it would not reduce that. It would just be obvious for people that this has value in it. And so there's nothing that any amount of mocking would not be able to take that away from it, right? But you have to be so um insecure about your belief that your defense of it would require violence, right? So that's
Mhm,
actually, to me, that's a more a demonstration of weakness rather than strength.
mhm. Pakistani Defense
Anyways.
Force is saying, Susanna, that's not always true. In some countries, it's better to seem weak in jails. Fair enough. I just know how things go down in America. Okay. And there are rules about these things. So I pulled up a bunch of tweets that we can talk about to cover this. But Armin, I want you to show your response to Andrew's Quran challenge.
Yeah, okay. So I posted my video because it was weird to me ever since, like, when he was telling people why he was converting to Islam. He was like, "Oh, nobody would dare insult
Yeah,
Islam or the Quran." I was like, why are you saying nobody? Like, have you not looked into this? Like,
clearly
we have a
not.
very we have a very long tradition, proud tradition of desecrating the Quran and insulting the Prophet. Like,
It's
this
called
is, we have,
culture.
yeah,
Sir,
it's
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 called culture.
it's ex-Muslim sunnah. That's what it is. Like, we have an annual Joy Muhammad day. Every
True.
year
I think
there's a
that's
day
happening
specifically
soon.
on the calendar that people draw Muhammad. Like, that's how big this is. And he's like, nobody would dare. Like, sir, not everybody is as much of a pussy as you are. Like, these are the people who act like they're tough and all, but yeah, you're a pussy. You're scared. That doesn't mean that everybody is scared. Okay, but
Hmm.
here, so I posted
Oh,
my
wait, can I read the
Quran.
caption?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So you responded directly to Andrew Tate, which the tweet has since been deleted. And it said,
Hmm.
I did. I invite more people to hashtag desecrate the Quran. Just because you submit to Islam, Andrew, doesn't mean we cower in response to Islamic threats. You are endorsing Islamic violence. We stand up to Islamic violence and bullies like you who endorse such tactics. You'll have blood on your hands when you help these threats succeed. But when we face threats of violence intended to intimidate, we need to double down so that the threats of violence backfire. And then this is a video of you from 2020, actually. I remember when this happened because this video was actually the what
The
led to the
beginning
sexy
of
Cali thing. So
yeah.
this is
This is
burned
the
into my
video.
memory.
This is the video that led into a lot of Hindutva coming and supporting me, and I, in response, blasphemed against Hinduism, and then Hindutva turned on me, and instead of supporting me, came after me. So this is
And
the
then
video
they
that
went
led to
after
that.
us for 2 years straight.
2 years, yeah. So they were like, "Yay, Armin!" And they're like, "Okay, we need to take this guy down." This is so yeah. So this is the video.
Quran. Quran. Oh, what is he doing to it? Oh, flipping through, selecting a good page. This looks good enough. Tear this out. Oh, shit, he tore it out. Okay, let's look at it. Open it up. Oh, spit on it. Oh. Tear it again.
I like your commentary.
Look on your
I
face.
like your commentary.
Well, I have to, narrate for people who are only listening on podcast.
Yeah, that was good.
Brother
like
Ben
your
is saying, I
narration.
remember this. The Hindutva lost their minds.
They loved it at first, yeah.
Yeah.
So here's some reactions that we want to read. Yeah. By the way, there
Wait, Horace is saying Nuria called it the spit, rip, and chuck deadly combo.
That's
Fatality.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Oh my God.
By the way, I can't show it right now because the tweet is deleted, but there was a whole bunch of people desecrating the Quran. There was a cute little doggy that was on the Quran. We showed that on the secular
it was a little dachshund, a little wiener dog, like standing there.
On the Quran, it was like a little doggy cover. But here, do you want to read?
Cafarito, oh, you're so cute.
Okay. You want to read David Wood's tweet?
Yeah,
I'm surprised David Wood is on Twitter.
Andrew Tate finally deleted his infamous Quran desecration challenge tweet. I guess he realized that a bunch of teenagers fantasizing about becoming webcam pimps aren't the top intimidating assassination squad, and he thought they were. Poor Top G. Hashtag Andrew Tate Quran challenge.
That's a pretty good tweet, I must say.
There's one tweet I want you to pull up, and it's this Muslim woman who's been going to war with Andrew Tate. Yes, this is it. And she's this Muslim woman, and she's been going to war with Andrew Tate and exposing how he says he's a Muslim, but he is still actively in the gambling and prostitution business. And so she's been exposing that, and then exposing these top Salafi influencers who are promoting Andrew Tate and going after them, saying, how can you promote someone that is a pimp and panderer? He's pimping and pandering, and you guys are promoting him. Anyways, so she, her name is Safia Sabrine, and she's saying, OMG, I have yet to find a more satanic person than Andrew Tate. He is actually inviting people to desecrate the Quran. Twitter is filled with people desecrating the Quran because of his stupid challenge. This guy is satanic. Shame on the Muslims who love this Iblis.
Oh, wow.
That's and from her perspective, I think she's right. Like, from her perspective, is this guy not actually sent from the devil to destroy Islam? From her perspective, is he not literally munafiq?
Yeah.
Like, is he not literally like the top munafiq? Like, he's the biggest hypocrite. Like, because he's
if you want to
pimping and pandering while saying that he's a Muslim.
Yeah. If you want, I mean, depends on if he will succeed or not. But yeah, you could argue that if I was the devil and I wanted to destroy Islam, I would send this guy as my minion to just destroy it from within. Yeah.
And then have all the top Salafi English-speaking influencers promote him and praise him and push other young Muslim men towards him and his products. And his products include courses where you learn how to manipulate and coerce women into harami sex work.
Yes.
What the
I mean, I could get into a lot of theological arguments right now, but about whether or not you could call him a Muslim or not. But I already did that with Harris Sultan, so I'm not going to do it here.
Are we takfiring?
Um,
Takfiring
yes,
Andrew?
yes. So it's the difference between whether sin will put. I mean, it's a Kharijite move. Anyways, I'm not going to get into that. That's a whole.
It's
That's
a
that's
Kharijite
too much.
move. Okay.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much Islamic detail, which I don't think people want to hear right now. But yeah,
we're
this
gonna
what is.
be nerdy. Okay,
We're
but
gonna.
I just want to say, wait, according in Islamic thought, is it worse to be a non-believer? Is it worse to be an apostate, or is it worse to be a hypocrite? Which is more of a threat to Islam, the murtad or the munafiq? Not murtad.
It's not clear. Like I think you could pull up different verses and hadiths for each side to say which one is worse. But I know the murtad has a more clear punishment than the munafiq. So I would say that Islam would consider the murtad to be a bigger danger, given that the death sentence is very clear about the murtad.
Yeah, but I'm saying as a threat to Islam itself, from the perspective of Islam. Not from the perspective of being an apostate, okay, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I have to go dig up hadiths to see if there's any way to compare that. But I think arguably you should be more worried about the munafiq than the murtad.
Easily. I mean, if you're so worried about
logically,
bid'ah, like.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, the Quran does. Yeah, okay. Well, that's a bigger discussion. But here, what's this tweet?
This is another video from this Muslim woman that's going after Andrew Tate, Safia. And we don't have to watch this because it's her just kind of like walking through, doing her investigation. But she's like proving that he is still actively selling these pimping and pandering courses to the children.
I want to watch it. I want to children. I want to watch this.
He has a young audience.
Okay.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if it's that interesting to watch. It's just like her kind of like walking through emails that she got and stuff. But yeah, if you guys want to, I don't know. I would encourage people to go check out what she's talking about. I find it an interesting perspective. So you can go follow her. Her handle is @Sabrine Safia. Yeah.
Tell her the Atheist Republic sent you.
Oh no.
Tell her we're supporting her. Tell this Muslim woman that is trying to save Islam from Andrew Tate that the Atheist Republic sent you, and we support her work. Oh, we already saw this one.
I have a few comments that I want to react to.
She would
from the
just to
live
confuse
chat.
her.
Okay. So Haris is saying, you got to understand the whole reason he was attracted to Islam is because he thought Muslims don't conform, and they don't allow anyone to insult their book. He didn't know about people like us. That is very clear. That's very clear. And D is bringing up about the Satanic Temple Convention. Genetically Modified Skeptic went to the convention, see his video, and he tells us that the only fight that broke out was between Catholics and Protestant protesters.
That's funny.
The people that worship chaos and destruction were more peaceful than your Young Atheist is saying, I love it when people accept the challenge. Guys, remember, every time that you desecrate a Quran, there is a young Pakistani atheist that is living vicariously through you. Okay? So if it is safe to desecrate the Quran, we do it on behalf of those who cannot do it because it's dangerous. Don't do this if it is dangerous for you guys. But if you can do it, young atheist, our young Pakistani atheist is living through you when you do it. So remember that.
I thought you were gonna, I didn't know where that was going. I thought you were going to say something dirty, but for every remind me to tell you after the show what
I don't like. Say. I have a pretty dirty mind, and even I don't know where you're going with that.
I'm like, for every Quran that you desecrate, there's a young Pakistani atheist that I don't know. But anyways, let me remind me.
Okay, John is saying, I wonder what he thinks now that his dare has been answered. His deleting his post says it all.
Yes.
What do you think about this, Armin?
Yes. I think Andrew Tate needs to reconsider Islam, because given that his main reason why he converted to Islam was the fact that Islam, nobody would dare do this to Islam. Now he's discovering that we do dare, Andrew.
Mhm.
We do dare all the time. We do dare, like many of us, and we are many. Okay, so your main reason for converting to Islam, you are discovering that is false, that is not
Mhm.
there. So need to become an ex-Muslim. Oh, Andrew Tate, if he becomes one of us, if he becomes an ex-Muslim. I mean, I don't want that, actually. No, he's going to be our problem now, because him being a Muslim is.
Now we have to deal with him.
Now he's going to be like, do you see these ex-Muslims? Andrew Tate would be, oh no, Andrew Tate, please remain a Muslim. To stay in Islam. Jesus Christ.
Remain steadfast in your deen, brother.
Yes, we don't want you. Oh no.
I actually knew a bunch of ex-Muslims who were happy when Andrew Tate became a Muslim, because they're like, this will have more people aware of the misogyny that's actually in Islam, because he's so public in endorsing it.
Andrew, we are actually very scared. Like, I am living in fear of desecrating the Quran. Islam strong. Islam very strong. Stay Muslim. Okay.
Stay Muslim, brother.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Remember your deen.
Imagine if Andrew Tate is ex-Muslim. People are like, look at these ex-Muslims and their misogyny. And they're like, this shows to you that when you leave Islam, you're not necessarily now. Oh my God, this is really bad. Okay, guys, we're not gonna. Good thing Andrew Tate blocked. Oh wait, that's the next news. I'm not gonna say that.
Oh yeah. No. That's a teaser. We're gonna get to that in a second.
Yeah.
And really quickly, Pakistani Defense Force is saying, Susanna, why only Pakistani? Why are we being targeted? No, you're not being targeted. I'm just giving it as an example. There are many young ex-Muslims around the world, and they live in a country where they cannot desecrate the Quran without intense risk to their safety.
Oh, yeah.
And one of those countries is Pakistan. And I saw one of our lovely Pakistani members in the live chat. And so it brought to my mind what he might go through. And I just gave it as an example, which reminds me, a while ago, I had a young Pakistani ex-Muslim message me on Instagram. He had his phone and he took a photo of the Atheist Republic logo in the mosque, and you can see people praying salah in the background.
Yeah, that was pretty intense.
It was like he risked a lot to take that photo. So I don't promote people taking that great of a risk to their safety, because he was talking about how scared he was. But that as an example, we got a lot of members out there that cannot express themselves, and that was just an example.
I have a Quran right now in Arabic.
Oh.
Okay. Which you said, like, you wanted me to support. You said that we should support Pakistani atheists who cannot desecrate the Quran themselves. But anyway, I just noticed my Quran is very Pakistani. It has Pakistani colors, it has the Pakistani moon and everything, right?
Well, I mean, it's just Islamic colors. It's moon and green.
Yeah, I know, but
and then Pakistan said that that's ours.
So I'm gonna just desecrate another page of the Quran.
Ooh, okay.
From Surah Baqarah.
That's a little warning to anyone that doesn't like that.
I mean, we already showed the video with warning and everything.
Wait, I want to find mine.
No.
Where is it? Where is it?
Oh, look at that. That's us. I just saw us.
What do you mean? What does it say?
Kafirin. That's me and you, Susie. That's us. That's God down here. And that's us, the disbelievers.
That's me.
That's me. I was just, it's just.
Oh my God.
Right,
okay, I can't find my Quran because I have my books in a box right now. My rainbow gay Quran. But what I do have is my woman's Quran that Mary Namazi gave me. No, I'm not going to desecrate this, but I just want to show it. This is the woman's Quran gifted to me by Mary Namazi. And guess. I want everyone to guess what's inside of this.
Yes. What's inside? This is a female version of the Quran. Okay, a woman's Quran. What's inside that Quran? Yes, guys.
Mustafa is saying use it for blunt paper. Actually, that's really bad for you. The ink is bad if you smoke it. But I have smoked a joint made out of a Bible before.
People are guessing right.
You know, Hara's got it. Nothing. It's empty.
Yeah, nada. Yeah.
Because there's nothing good for women in the Quran.
Yeah. Anyways, let me desecrate my Quran.
Oh my god, I found something that I thought that I lost in here. This is awesome. This is from when we went to Celebrating Dissent with everyone, and this is the Moroccan ex-Muslim activist Betty Lachugar, and her shirt says Allah is a lesbian.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that.
I thought I lost this. That's where it was. Cool. Okay. Well, we just got that live on air. Fun. Anyways.
By the way, guys, I used to burn the Quran just to make a point on everything. I do now recommend spitting and tearing apart. Oh, wait, I forgot to tear apart. Let me try again. I have to do the Nuria spit, tear, and
we need the full combo.
Yeah, I only
tear, spit, rip,
tear,
and toss. There we go.
Yeah, you should do it in that order. This is better than burning your Quran. It's more environmentally friendly. It's more insulting. Okay, believe it or not, it's actually more insulting.
We're optimizing the disrespect.
Yeah, we're optimizing the disrespect. It's more insulting. It's more environmentally friendly. It's safer for yourself. You're not going to burn your house down. It's more economically friendly. It costs less money. Okay. Also, guys, when you are desecrating in the Quran, don't do the entire Quran. It's as insulting to do one page than doing the entire book. Save the rest of the Quran. With one Quran, you could get a lot of desecration. Do one page for every time you want to desecrate the Quran. You don't need to do the entire book. It's even worse. When you tear out a page and you show it, you can see the words of God on the page. So when you spit on that, it's better because when you do the book, people can't see inside the book. So it's more effective. It's more economically friendly. You have the rest of the book for many, many times. Like, you see how much more desecrations I have left, right? So that's my advice.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. This is so funny. And Armin Pakistani Defense Force is saying, Armin, it's not worth risking your safety, man. And people are asking you if you're afraid or saying that there's no point because this doesn't help Muslims reject Islam. This isn't about people leaving Islam.
You're missing the point.
Form of activism. That's a different form of activism. This is about free expression. And honestly,
you're missing our goal.
I'm not. Yeah, exactly. You're missing the goal. And I'm not concerned about threats because the amount of threats that I have received from Muslims is a drop in the bucket in comparison to the threats I have received from Hindus. A drop in the bucket. I have the first death threats I ever got were from Hindus. So for me, I'm like, oh no, I'm fine.
And also, by the way, if you are afraid, you should desecrate more Quran. Okay?
Well,
not
it
less.
Depends on the person where you are.
Yeah. I'm not saying you specifically, you as in the society as a whole. Because the point of desecrating the Quran is so that threats don't work. If there are threats of violence and you submit to them, what happens is that you are making threats of violence work. The point of desecrating the Quran is because those threats exist and you want to make sure those threats of violence backfire. When threats of violence backfire, that means they don't work. When they don't work, there will be less threats of violence. So this is not so that we encourage threats of violence. This is so that we make them less effective. And by making them less effective, we're making them we make them more rare. That's the whole. That's
rewarding them and rewarding, and it would be positive reinforcement of their threats if we kowtowed.
Exactly.
And before we move on to the next news, Bruce 6 is reminding everyone to hit like. If you're watching and you haven't hit like and you made it this far into the show and it's this hilarious, what are you doing? Just hit the like. It takes less than a second. Also, Casey on Facebook is saying hi, and I just want to say, everyone, Casey, our lovely Atheist Republic member, recently got married. He sent me some photos of his wedding, and so I would just like us all to say congratulations. I love when people in our community find love and they send me photos, and it's the cutest thing ever. So
that's
yes,
very sweet.
Happy marriage, Casey. Also, Secular Sakai sent a super chat saying first, because I never see super chats that say that. Thank you for the super chat, Sakai.
Thank you.
And GJ sent an 11 euro super chat. Thank you, saying all right. Has it been long enough now? Can we change the subject on Air's YouTube membership tab under perks? It still says get questions answered by Armin and Susanna during our weekly Q&A. Well, I guess it should be changed to me, you and Elliot.
Yes.
Okay.
On the YouTube membership tab. Yes, we will fix that. Thank you for letting us know. Thank you for that update. I will. Susie, can you remind me to change that?
Yeah.
I will do that. Okay. Okay. So can we clap for the next news?
Yes.
Okay. Next news.
Really, it's a continuation of the saga because it's been a juicy week for Andrew Tate on Twitter, and that includes going head-to-heads with none other than our prophet, Armin, Ridwan Idemir, apostate prophet. Yes. So please bring up Exhibit A.
Exhibit A. How dare you?
For those listening, it's a tweet by Apostate Prophet saying, why, Top G? Why? I wanted to learn how to be a pimp. And it's a screenshot that shows that Andrew Tate blocked him. Now, I'm assuming because Apostate Prophet was hopping in the replies and the quote tweets to let him know what he thought about his pimping, pandering, and Islamic whitewashing promotion. Just an idea that might have been the impetus for the blocking.
Yeah.
But we actually have someone else who recently joined the ranks of Andrew Tate's block list. And it's someone close to our heart. It's someone who we all know. And it is none other, Armin, bring it up, than our own Armin Navabi himself. Armin Navabi has now actually, as of like 1 or 2 days ago, was it yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah, literally
I'm
yesterday.
So happy.
You got blocked by Andrew Tate too.
I joined our prophet. So, at first it was the apostate prophet. I'm like, damn, that's pretty cool. Like, what do you have to do? How high do you have to get out there, to go after Andrew Tate for you to be noticed by the most high profile Muslim alive right now and to be blocked by him? I'm like, damn, that's pretty amazing. That's awesome. That's good job. Good job to Ridwan. And then I was like, I joined our prophet. Me too, prophet. Do you see me, prophet? I joined. This is our, why I'm saying this? Because how Muslims, when they become martyrs, they are so happy. One of the main things that they're happy about is that they join their prophet. Because if you die as a martyr in Islam, you go to the part of heaven when the prophet of Islam is, right?
You reach that tier of heaven.
Yeah, in the ex-Muslim world. So our prophet is the apostate prophet, and I just joined him. So yeah,
so funny.
Yeah, but this is so weak, isn't it? Like, kind of looks like it's when you have your brand that I'm a tough guy, and blocking people on Twitter because they're calling you out makes you look like a pussy, doesn't it? Am I off here?
It depends. Not always. Sometimes you just don't want to hear some BS that someone is constantly spamming at you. That's all. I
wasn't constant. I have had a max 4, I think 5 tweets. 5 tweets responding to Andrew Tate's BS. Okay? And they weren't like spam. Okay, so if I was spamming him, okay, then sure. I don't know what Apostate Prophet did, okay? But if somebody's constantly spamming you and harassing you, then yeah, okay, fine, block them. But if somebody, I had 4 or 5 tweets criticizing him, and they were pretty nuanced takes, I think. I mean, I could bring one of them up for you if you want.
What I think is really funny is Horror Sultan is in the live chat and he's saying, I don't know why he hasn't blocked me yet, frowny face. This is the thing. Armin, I was thinking that this might be the new ex-Muslim badge of honor. You know, the ex-Muslim badge of honor, you didn't really make it in ex-Muslim Twitter until you had received a notification that Pakistan was trying to remove your tweets. Once you received notices that the PTA were trying to remove your tweets, that's how you know you made it. You've entered new ranks, okay? You're earning your stripes, okay? And this might be the next level. This is the new way to earn the badge of honor.
So, do you want to read my caption? What I said to Andrew Tate, but in response to my being blocked.
Yeah, I can read it out loud.
Yeah, go.
Armin tweeted at Andrew with a screenshot of him being blocked. Isn't it ironic how those who speak the loudest and about being tough are often the weakest and most pathetic? They hide their insecurities behind constant threats of displays of strength and success, desperately seeking validation and acceptance. I was just blocked by Andrew Tate, the new warrior of Islam, after replying to a few of his tweets and poking holes in his arguments defending Islam. This is someone many people look up to as a role model, yet he's all bark and no bite. His arguments are full of fallacies and baseless claims. It seems he's either run away like a little boy than face any real pushback.
Okay, so I swear I didn't harass or spam the guy, because if I did, it's completely justified to block me, okay? But this looks pretty, as a man that is supposed to be alpha and strong, in response to a few tweets of mine. And here, this is the type of, so I can't find some of my tweets I replied to him because I'm, but this is one of the replies I had. This is not harassment. Look at this. This is not harassment. I just point out the logical fallacies in his statements. Okay. It's pretty, it's no insult, no nothing. And these are the types of tweets. Okay, one of the tweets I had against him was the one that you just saw in the previous news item, was about me desecrating the Quran, because he said, like, he dared us to do it. He was like, if you're so brave, do it. And I did it. He said, if you're brave enough to desecrate the Quran, do it. And I did. So I was just responding to his challenge. And you saw the caption that I had. Overall, 4 or 5 tweets, not harassment, and I'm blocked by Andrew Tate, alpha male Andrew Tate, running away from an argument like a little boy. Like what? Like he did not even just muting me. Like, here's the thing: if he didn't want to be bothered with my tweet, he could have just muted me. But he's blocking you is different from muting you, because if you block somebody, that means you don't want them to be seen in your replies. So not only he didn't want to see me, he didn't want other people to see my replies to his tweets. That is pretty weak. That is pretty pathetic.
I agree. Can you check the private chat while I read something from the live chat? So ES 1002 is saying, gave us a £2 super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And he says, it's like being permabanned from r/Islam on Reddit. I think that might be another ex-Muslim badge of honor. It's being permabanned from r/Islam. Okay, is there anything else we need to cover before we move to the next segment?
I just want to point how bad this argument is saying. This is Pakistani Defense Force saying, Armin, I don't like Tate. I don't like Tate, but we can't deny that he is alpha. He was a kickboxing champion. Okay.
Do you know that like alpha, beta, this is all made up nonsense, right?
Yeah.
You do realize like alpha, beta, omega, sigma. This is I heard a comedian say this. This is astrology for men. This is astrology for men.
This is not
To be like,
scientific
this is my
stuff.
personality and this dictates my temperament and where I fit in the world and how I interact with others. It's astrology for men. It's all nonsense. These aren't real things.
Yeah.
Like, you can say
Also,
that he's strong. You can say that you think that he's masculine, but like alpha is not an objective thing.
I think Pakistan Defense Force is offended. He's saying, Armin, just because we don't like him doesn't mean he isn't strong. Good thing I didn't make that argument. What are you responding to? Did I say he's not strong because what he's doing is pathetic and weak? He could be strong physically, but he's weak when it comes to arguments. He's pathetically weak when it comes to actually making logical points and making sense and being able to push back against anybody who's criticizing him. I mean, go look at his debate with Hassan Piker. He's so pathetically weak. Like, and also, you know who's also pathetically weak? Pakistani Defense Force. Because instead of looking at what I'm saying, you're putting words in my mouth and you're saying something that I didn't. Did I say he's weak because I don't like him? What are you even responding to? Learn how to argue better. This is not good. Anyways, we got another super chat.
Cajun American gave a $2 super chat, thank you, and saying, Susanna, have you heard of the Omega verse? And I started laughing because in my head I said, I don't know what the Omega verse is, but is it where all the twinks live? That sounds, Omegaverse sounds like the greatest like club night for twinks on a Tuesday. That's gay humor. If you guys don't get it, you don't get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
shout out to my LGBTQs.
Oh, Harris Sultan is saying Armin always rips into poor Pakistani Defense Force. Hey, Harris, you do the same. You block him. So, all right. Okay, can we clap for the next news?
I don't know if we should clap because this is an assassination, technically.
I know, but it's not the same type of like this is the first time that somebody died, and I think it's fine for us to clap.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah, of course. Okay. I mean, I don't want to say more because YouTube might think I'm saying something, okay? But I'm just saying, like, this is clappable. This is clappable news.
Okay. I will go with what you say.
Okay. Next news.
Iran in turmoil. Islamic cleric assassinated in brazen daylight attack. This is crazy. In a shocking turn of events, amidst the ongoing protest against Iran's Islamic Republic, senior cleric Ayatollah Abbas Ali Soleimani was brutally assassinated in broad daylight. The 77-year-old hardliner was gunned down in a bank in Babosar, a city just north of Tehran, on April 26th. A chilling video captured by surveillance camera reveals the attacker walking around the bank with a gun before firing at Soleimani. Bystanders intervened to apprehend the assailant, who was later arrested by security forces. With the motive still unknown, Iran's Interior Ministry has launched a special investigation into this high-profile murder. This brazen assassination is just one of many recent attacks targeting Iran's Shia clergy as public discontent with the Islamic Republic reaches a boiling point. On April 16th, another cleric was the victim of an attempted murder when a car tried to run him over in Tehran. The condition of the 35-year-old cleric is still unknown, and authorities are searching for the suspect. Ayatollah Soleimani was a prominent figure and the most high-ranking cleric to be assassinated in recent years. So this is a really big deal because Ayatollah Soleimani was part of the Guardianship Council, if I'm correct. Not only was he part of the Guardianship Council, it is alleged that he was a member of the death councils that would happen in the 1980s, where leftist political prisoners in the early days of the Islamic Republic were killed in the thousands, and he allegedly oversaw the body that would dictate these mass executions. Like one of the most mass killings that's the most forgotten of the past century. He was involved with this. Anyways, so Armin, please give us more about this. What are people saying on Farsi Twitter? What is the reaction? Give us the details.
So, based on the report by the Iranian national TV itself, okay, so I'm not based on what they're putting out there, okay, is they're claiming that the assassin, so the guy was part of the guards there, right? They said that he didn't even know who this guy was, which makes it even worse. If what the narrative of the Iranian TV is true, it means that he just shot him because he's a mullah, not because he had any specific thing against him.
Wow, because this guy was powerful.
This guy was really powerful. This guy was high up there. So this guy is this is not your average mullah in Iran, because we have a lot of average mullahs in Iran. We have a lot of mullahs that they can't do anything, that they have no power, no control, no money, nothing. They're just mullahs. Okay.
Yeah, and most a lot of them like have to be like taxi drivers in their spare time to pay for bills, you know, and some of them are like paid millions by the government. So there's a lot of difference.
This mullah is handpicked specifically by the Vilayat Faqih, by the office of the supreme leader himself, and he is in one of the most powerful institutions of the country. So he was at the bank trying to get some money, okay? And we can't show you the video, but the video that we saw of the assassination, the guy just so casually walks up to him with what I'm assuming is an AK or whatever. I don't know what the gun is, right? And then he just so calmly picks it up and shots the man. It's unbelievable how calm he was about the whole thing, right? And the other thing that is weird about the whole video is everybody in the bank around the assassination. So try to explain to me, Susie, how could you justify what we saw and I saw in the video, because again we can't show it. Nobody gets scared. Nobody runs away.
What the fuck?
The guy that is holding tea calmly, the guy that is like the job is to give people tea around the bank there, calmly puts the tea down, walks towards the assassin and puts his hands on the gun, trying to take the gun away from his hand.
I thought for a second that you said that he was going to offer him some chai.
No. He tries to remove the gun from his hand, but so calmly. Like nobody runs, nobody screams. Okay. So people are like trying to make sense of this video. And one way people are making sense of the video is that when somebody is shooting a mullah in the bank, everybody knows that they are safe. Like it's a pre-assumption. Like there's a pre-assumption that this is obviously, we get it. Like we get why this guy is doing this, right?
Or they immediately identify that they are not amongst the target.
Yes. So when they see somebody just shooting at the mullah, people are like, well, of course.
Oh, damn.
You know why? Yeah. I mean, that is how people are analyzing why nobody is scared. Like people are like, obviously this guy is not going to shoot at us. He's shooting at a mullah, right? That's why nobody is afraid of what they're seeing. I don't know if that's a reasonable justification of why everybody's so calm, but that's what people are saying on social media about why everybody was calm.
So based on the description, because I haven't seen the video, I couldn't find it, but so you can tell me, based on the descriptions of the videos that I have read, it said that he was walking around the bank with a gun for a second before he did this. Like calmly walking around the bank with an AK. Like how did that
okay, the guy was like a guard himself. Like the understanding is that he would have a gun.
So he was
I
actually
don't,
security for the bank?
I don't know if he was for the bank. I know he was security, like if kind of. I think he was security for the bank, but I don't know if he was security for the bank or just security. I think Sasan here is in the live chat. Um, he knows he. Can we confirm whether it was a security? Hold on, let me see.
No, no, because Sasson was
I can.
actually asking, isn't it illegal for civilians to have guns in Iran?
No,
And
yeah, it is. But he was security, so
okay, that
he could
makes a
have a gun.
lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense because other people are
Then
saying, oh, he was probably Kurdish because the Kurdish regions are some of the few that are actually maintain some level of bearing of arms. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's
let
my
me.
understanding.
Yeah, a lot of Kurdish people have firearms, even if it's um okay. So
Illegal.
confusion persisted after that. Soleimani had been at the bank in the city when another man seized a guard's firearm and began shooting over. No, this is not right. This is inaccurate.
D
Who's
is saying, I saw the
this is
video. It was like Armin said, a very calm attack. No one even yelled. What the
Yeah.
hell?
So, guys, this is what I've heard that the guy was a guard. Okay, that part I am not 100% sure about.
Mhm.
Okay, and we cannot trust the narratives of the Islamic Republic's TV,
Oh, yeah.
national TV. Okay, but if what they're saying is true, it makes it worse because they're saying that he didn't even know the guy, which could mean that he was targeting him because he was just a mullah, right? um and because of the tense situations right now regarding between civilians and mullahs. Again, I'm not saying I'm not making, because it's hard for us to know exactly what has happened. So when I'm saying you these things, I'm telling you the narratives that are now popular on social media. I'm not necessarily claiming that these are true. I'm just telling you what everybody is saying and how they're
Yeah.
analyzing the situation, right?
Yeah.
So, and even if that is not so, for example, let's think about this skeptically. If that is not what happened, let's, for example, this was not the reason why all of this happened, right? The fact that these are the go-to explanations on Iranian social media
Mm.
that by itself will give you an indication and a reflection of what the mindset of people are like right now in Iran. So Hassan was mentioning. So there's three cases. Two of them we know that people were actively targeting a mullah for one reason or another.
Yeah, the guy getting shot
Um,
up at the bank, the guy who they tried to run him over with a car, and then there was another death that happened recently that you just told me about last night. I didn't even know about this. Apparently, there was a mullah that drowned, and people are saying that that was another targeted killing as well. But you don't know if you believe that because people are
yeah,
saying the way you were explaining it to me last night was that people are like, it has to be an assassination. Why would a mullah be swimming? And you're like, mullah could
yeah,
be swimming.
no, yeah. So two of them we know a mullah was attacked. This one and the guy that was run over by a car. The mullah that was run over by a car. Now there's a third mullah that we know is dead and the body has been found, and people are saying it was an assassination, but I think I don't see any evidence that it was an assassination. The reason why people say that it was an assassination is because they can't imagine mullahs swimming in a cold day in a lake. Right, so it's hard for them to imagine. So the guy was either just drowned because he was swimming in a lake, or somebody killed him. But everyone's mind is going, oh, this is another assassination. I don't think that that third one was an assassination. Maybe I'm proven wrong later. But the thing that so many people are hoping that it was as was an assassination, that shows you, even if it's not an assassination, just think about where the mindset is. Like on social media right now, if I go on Iranian social media and tell people like, yeah, I don't think this is an assassination, I would get flooded with attacks, right? But people are like, no, you're wrong. This was definitely an attack. But even if it isn't, just think how hated these mullahs are, that people want this to be not just a random guy die. They want it to be a revenge attack on all of these mullahs. Think about the
Damn.
level of hate that exists right now in the
Oh, I know it's
environment.
real.
I mean,
Even before this
yeah.
uprising happened, I actually, no, I can't say some of the stuff I've read on Persian Twitter. I literally on YouTube, I cannot say some of the things I have read on Persian Twitter about the mullahs because it would violate so many different policies. And that was even before this past year. So, yeah, sometimes I get worried. I'm not going to lie. But go ahead.
I was talking to some Iranians on Discord about this. And I was like, this guy is like, you must be insane, Armin, to think he was an assassinated. How could you think a mullah would be swimming in a lake? And I'm like, why wouldn't a mullah swim in a lake? And they're like, mullahs don't do anything, Armin. They don't do anything. They're the laziest people on the planet. Like this Iranian's like, there's like they can't imagine a mullah just going out for a swim. They're like, it's impossible. They're like, Armin, you're so naive to think that mullahs would actually like go make an effort to go for a swim. Like this was obviously as assassination.
Like this
and
stereotype.
then there was another guy like
so deep.
There was another guy that was like, actually, I know a mullah in our neighborhood that he's a carpenter as well. Like he actually does other work. And the guy was like, impossible. So like, I don't believe you. like that's impossible.
Like he has hobbies. He does things. No. I know a mullah. He likes to knit. No.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is funny. Hindu historian is saying, I wouldn't swim in a cold day either. It's fun to have Hindu historian back in our live chat. I missed him.
Yeah, we'll miss him. Yeah. So, by the way, Susanna is saying, that said, I still feel so bad for my homeland and its people. So much killing and cruelty. Yeah. So here's the thing. I do agree with that. However, I'm not saying Susanna is saying this. Even if people are showing violence and cruelty against the regime, whether you agree with it, some of it is justified because it's self-defense, and some of it might not be self-defense, and we might look down upon it. But even if it's not justified, it's very important to put the entirety of the blame on the Islamic Republic. Okay? It's very important to at least focus. Maybe I should say this for me. We should focus our blame on the Islamic Republic because of the environment that it's created for such things to be able to happen. Right? I mean, again, this is a natural response to such a regime when they do something like that. And by natural, I don't mean justified. I'm not doing the appeal to nature fallacy. I'm only saying natural. When I say it's expected, I'm not justifying all of it at the same time. But again, the responsibility is on the Islamic Republic and not the people. This is, yeah. So I don't know. Does that make sense? The way I'm thinking about it?
Yeah. I think it does.
Yeah.
I think it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let me just.
I just want to quickly say, how do you think things will proceed going forward? Because even before the uprising and revolution that's happened within this past year, there were some very high-profile targeted murders of mullahs, and I honestly think that that's only going to increase.
Yes. There are a lot of people that are enjoying the fact that mullahs are not feeling safe right now in the streets because they thought, like, you made us not feel safe in the streets. So this is, they think this is good. But, and also there are mullahs who are now being they're more careful. There was a mullah that you saw the video, I think, that was.
You told me about this.
Yeah, so there was one mullah, the the leading Friday imam in a city, and he was coming out to the mall, and he was calling out. He was visiting stores that are letting in women without hijab and telling people to shut them down, right? Which made a lot of people furious because, first of all,
he was running around like a little Napoleon.
Yeah, it was like, shut this down, shut this store down, like close this store down. But most people understand why this is so frustrating, especially in this economic climate in Iran, where people are struggling to make money, and he's trying to shut the stores down because they're letting in women without a job. But this was even more frustrating because he doesn't even have the legal authority to do such a thing, right? And he was going around and intimidating stores because they're letting women without hijab in. But what happened is the day after, they attacked his office and burned it.
They
They burned
firebombed his
his
office.
they firebombed his office the day after. And then he came out and he said that I was just there thanking people for their work. Even though the videos, I mean, we have what he's saying is audible in the videos that came out, right? He was telling us, shut it down, shut it down. And he was like, oh, I was just there thanking people. So, I mean, it encourages a lot of people to be more intimidating, because mullahs are like, oh my God, people are actually have power now, right? So it's scary for them, right?
They're not taking it lying down anymore.
Can I show you something else? Like, can I show a leg sweep on YouTube, or is that too violent?
A leg sweep? Yeah.
Yeah. That's not too violent for okay.
No.
So I just want to show you how things are changing in Iran. Just one more video, okay? Just to see how people who used to intimidate are now being intimidated, and it's pretty scary, right, for them. So let me read the caption first. It says, this is my caption, right? It says, a religious man in Iran attempts to impose hijab rules on women without hijab. And this is in the metro, right? So this is describing what's in the video. The situation changes when other men step in to defend the woman, confronting the zealous individual and tossing him around. So it's a basically it's a guy that it's a religious person that goes around and tell people to wear hijab and stuff. This is how men in Iran are standing up with women in their fight for liberty. Rapid changes are occurring in Iran as citizens reclaim their freedom, pushing back against the long-standing dominance of Islamic zealots and the government's oppressive enforcement. So I'm going to show you the video. This is pretty cool. So what you're saying, it's in a metro, it's in a train, and the guy back there, the guy was telling women to wear their hijab, and people in the train are telling him to get the hell out of the train, like, get the f out of the train, right? And then like the woman is saying, you should be ashamed of yourself. But they push him out of the train because he was telling women to wear the. So you have to understand, these are people that we grew up being scared of. Like when the religious came and told you this, especially women, these are people that women were in Iran always had to be afraid of. But now he's living in the same fear that he was creating for others. So this guy is pushing him out. So it's not just women taking off their hijab. It's also men standing up for women who are taking off their hijab. So this guy like hold his shirt and just pushed him out of the train. So that's one man. And watch this. There's the man in the yellow shirt that is coming. Just slapped him. We can see the slap. So the one man shoved him out. Another man came and just slapped that dude. You could hear the slap. Yeah. Oh. That was this guy with the yellow shirt, and everybody is taking their turn, right? So those men are just lining up to have their turn with them, right? And then there's another. So you can see. Oh, here, let's go a little bit back. So you can see that guy. This is this guy in black. That's what the guy that shoved him first. This is this guy here. This is the biggest guy. You can see like he's walking
big.
Towards. Yeah,
he's a big boy.
So he's like this big guy. He wants his turn as well. So that was him first. The guy in the yellow shirt second, and this guy in the checkers.
He's like, let me have a piece.
Look at the way he walks up. He's like, I gotta have my. I know. Like, yeah. Look at the way. Look. He's like, get out of my way. I gotta have my turn with him.
I came here to do two things: chew bubblegum and slap Basijis, and I'm out of bubblegum.
Yeah. So look at this. I look at now this guy, not the big guy. He's just picking him up.
Oh, he's so little.
And the leg sweep coming. Did you see that leg sweep? Did you see that leg sweep? One more time.
Yo, the Basiji is so tiny in comparison to this dude. Oh, damn.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my god. So yeah, there was just a line
Yeah,
of people. Oh.
Tema's saying it's the hold my beer walk. We don't have beer in Iran. It's hold my chai.
No, we do have beer, and we
I'm
now
kidding.
have
I'm
more beer
kidding.
than before. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So let's read some comments and super chats. So GJ, I don't know why you're complaining about. GJ saying fix it how, Armin. So this is a super chat updating the YouTube perks tab says, or really fixing it. I've been gripping about the lack of Q&A with AR on Africa Europe friendly time slot for a long time now. And then there was another super chat with that. Yeah, well, I mean, we
don't do the
we are
Q&A for that time zone. That's the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
point.
Yeah, we
We do a
already like
Q&A.
GJ,
That
we
time zone
change
is
you
this show.
you're asking for so much. You were saying why we're not doing the news at this segment, and we're now doing the news at this segment. We need to we need to have a show for other segments. So I don't. That's like you want us to change everything based on what you're asking for, given that we already gave a made a major change to our news segment based on the feedback we were getting. I really think it's unfair to just be upset about how we're not changing everything. Yeah.
To that time
So,
zone when we also have to have stuff for other time zones like North America.
yeah, and also
Everyone gets a shot.
and also the hosts themselves are limited based on the things that they're doing and the time that we have. It's not like we have full flexibility to change everything around. Yeah, so there's that. And then we got a super chat, but again, thank you so much for your super chats and your support. Es is saying, should hadith be desecrated as well? Thanks, guys. I mean, it's not going to have that impact if you're making the time and putting the effort and spending money to get the book. You might as well just make it what has the greatest. Like not that many people are going to get offended by you desecrating the hadith. You want to. What we're trying to break is the taboos. So we want to break taboos. So if it's not really a taboo, and here's the thing. Actually, reminds me. This is a good tip to Muslims, right? Do you want us to not desecrate the Quran? Don't threaten us about it. Because if you don't care, we won't care. We both win, right? If you don't care, because if you look, why are we not doing this to the hadith? Because you don't intimidate people about it. If you don't intimidate people about desecrating the Quran, there would be no point for us to desecrate the Quran, right? So yeah, that's why we don't desecrate the hadith, because there's no red lines. I mean, there's not that much red lines around it. Yeah. Anyways,
I have
what
a
did you
few
see?
things I want to read. First of all, Kenny gave us a $5 super chat, or €5. Thank you very much, Kenny. And Gasian American actually has some very wise words that I would like to read, and also gave a super chat. Thank you, Gasian. Coming straight out of the People's Republic of China, some wise words saying, "My atheists in glorious ancient empires, do not fall for the trap of hate. The Cultural Revolution was a mistake. When these lying teachers have fallen, do not forget to rebuild. Zan Zandegi Azadi." Very wise words, Gasian. Thank you. I think that's
Yes.
very appreciated.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see. Okay, I'm not going to be picky, but thank you. That's good. Yeah.
And Selva Kumar is reminding everyone to please like the video, especially if you just joined us. Don't forget to give us a like, show some appreciation, some love. It helps us a lot. Yeah, that's all I wanted to cover for this segment.
Harris is saying exactly to what I just said about Muslims maybe taking the chill pill, many of them, so that we don't desecrate the Quran. So, and Susan, I really appreciated the super chat from Gasian American. I knew somebody. I knew this is why I wasn't gonna nitpick it, because I can't do that. But
is bringing up a good point. She's saying basically, so D is our lovely editor. Everyone say thank you, D, and she helps us find some of the social media posts that we put in our news. And basically, she was saying that when she was looking for these social media posts, that she couldn't find any condemning this news story in English, at least, which shows a lot about how people feel about the situation.
Yeah, I couldn't find any in Persian either. Yeah, but that's a good point. Anyways, can we clap for our next news?
Yes, this is juicy. This is juicy. This is something I never expected.
Okay. Next news.
Next news, Ukraine blasphemes Hindu goddess Kali, sparking Indian backlash. In a controversial move that has sparked outrage among many Indian netizens, Ukraine's Ministry of Defense found itself in hot water after tweeting a provocative image of the Hindu goddess Kali. The image, featuring Kali superimposed over mushroom cloud blast fumes, posing with her tongue sticking out and having a Marilyn Monroe-like upskirt moment, and featured the caption, "Work of art." This struck a nerve with many Indians who saw it as Hindu-phobic and an affront to their religious beliefs. Indian Twitter users were quick to call out the disrespectful depiction, demanding an apology and urging key figures such as India's foreign minister and Twitter CEO Elon Musk to take action. Feeling the heat of the mounting backlash, the Ministry of Defense deleted the tweet only minutes after posting it. In an effort to mend the damage, Ukraine's defense minister, Armin offered a heartfelt apology, expressing her appreciation for India's support and emphasizing the mutual respect and friendship between the two nations.
This is very unexpected. I don't even know where to start. So, wait, where is it? The tweet is not here. I wish the tweet was here, or at least
because it was deleted.
Okay, I'll find the picture of it.
I can find the picture. If you scroll down, a little bit, it's like where you see Zelensky right there on the page. Yes. That's basically it.
Well, yeah, but here's a picture. This is here. This is the picture.
Here we go. Thank you.
Hey.
Yes, Defense Ministry of Ukraine. You see a blast radius cloud, and they turned it into Kali.
I mean, I'm very happy about this, but I don't know what was this supposed to mean. Can you explain?
I don't know. I don't know what this explosion is. If anyone who's more familiar with, like, is this particular explosion something important that happened in the Ukraine-Russian war? I don't know. But I think, okay, if I had to guess, what I'm assuming is that this is an explosion of something the Ukrainians are doing to defend themselves. And they turned it into a little goddess of destruction, having a Marilyn Monroe upskirt moment and saying, like, look at, like, this is a work of art. Like, this destruction is a work of art. Apparently this, like, painting of Kali is actually done by a very famous Ukrainian artist, by the way.
Does this have anything to do with Oppenheimer's quote of the Gita? Is this
I don't know. It could. I haven't read anything saying that.
Okay, because I know so when there was a atomic bomb that the experiments of the atomic bomb that was taking place, Oppenheimer said when he saw the explosion, he said, "Now I become death, the destroyer of the worlds," which is basically a line from the Gita, in a response to an atomic explosion, right? So there's not, ever since then, I think there's a tradition of looking at atomic explosions with Hinduism. There's there's a poetic, there's an artsy thing to relate those things together somehow, ever since that became a famous line. So maybe this has something to do with that. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, but not Kali. Yeah.
Well,
okay. Here, some people are saying, but the word Kali meaning time, but Oppenheimer quoted as death.
Well, Kal means time. I think Kali in some Desi languages means black. In Romani, which obviously came out of the Indian subcontinent, it means black.
Anyways, what was the response? People were angry, right?
Oh, yeah. People were like they had a lot to say about this. Basically, one of the most common responses I saw was people saying, see, look, this is why India doesn't support Ukraine. Because for those who don't know, in the Ukrainian-Russian conflict, India has been remaining neutral and trying to get the best of both worlds out of both the Western side and the Russian side. And buying Russian oil now that it's considerably cheaper, because it's within India's interest to do so, but that has caused tensions with India, because people see that they're not standing on the side of democracy. But also, India has had a lot of geopolitical alignment with Russia, especially in terms of arms, for like a
Yes.
while now. So it's not entirely unexpected.
Okay, so here's the thing. First of all, they didn't make a mistake posting this tweet. Okay, you know why? Because these Hindutva are just so sensitive, and it's beyond reason. And a rational person would not think that people would be this butthurt, right? So if you're like, oh, why did they post this? This was such poor taste and stuff. Well, I mean, because they're rational and they can't imagine people being this insane, right? It's just art. So maybe the reason why they didn't calculate this response is because you guys are not ordinary. Your reaction to things are just so insane that people forget sometimes that there are this many insane people in the world, and then they realize, oh my God, there's so many crazy people in the world, and they're like, okay, okay, yeah, we should have taken that into account, that you guys are insane.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah,
when
so
I had to face Hindutva, that was a rude awakening. Yeah, in terms of how much insanity and just like the levels that people would go to over that was insane.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Seed is saying, where can I find this tweet that they deleted? Yeah, of course they deleted it once they got all of that pushback. Yeah. But look at the reply. So who's this? Emni? Somebody saying,
They're the Ukrainian defense minister who was apologizing for it.
okay, so the Ukrainian defense minister is saying, we regret at defense you. So defense. So this is the Twitter account for the defense, Ukraine defense, saying at defense you, depicting hashtag Hindu goddess, hashtag Kelly in a distorted manner. See, look what you're apologizing for. Like most people, like the fact that people get upset about this is just art. It's just art. Like, think about you, the minister of defense of a country has to be coming and apologizing for a picture. Like, what you guys are you guys are children.
The
You guys
only
are
thing that I can
pathetically
think of
weak.
that's comparable is when that like Danish Swedish activist, goes out and burns the Quran, and then like their diplomats to Turkey have to go apologize, blah blah blah. Like it's the
Yeah.
only thing that's comparable.
Yeah. So it says Ukraine and its people respect unique Indian culture and highly appreciate, and then flag of India, appreciate India's support. The depiction has already been removed. Ukraine is determined to further increase cooperation in spirit of mutual respect and friendship. Okay, so this is like, even if you are so insane and butthurt to think that this is just too much, this is in poor taste, then when they come out and say like, okay, we're sorry, even by religious sensitive standards, you should be like, okay, thank you for coming out, we appreciate that. But no, even by religious standards, these people are the next level, these, even by religious standards. So in response to this apology, we have one tweet by a Hindu nut job, again, hashtag not all Hindus, is saying full support to Russia from now on, and so from now onwards, with a heart symbol for Russia.
Oh,
And this
damn.
got 2,300 likes on Twitter. Look how popular this tweet is.
Yeah.
Right?
Darko was saying this mentality, I support the invasion of a free country because he posted some art, is insane.
Yeah. So guys, you saw this. So it wasn't enough for you to just be butthurt about it. You have decided that you now support an invasion because you were butthurt. This is such the highest level of butthurt. Like,
that's true. This might be the highest level of butthurt that I've ever seen. Basically endorsing the mass killing and RAPing of innocent civilians because of like a meme.
Yeah, like even after the apology, like, nope, we now support you dying unjustifiably by an invasion. And mass, killing and RAPing.
To be honest, I
people.
don't even think that this was in a situation where this changed people's minds, because
It doesn't matter, because that's the claim.
I know there
though.
was already I think more support in India for Russia than Ukraine for the
that
past
doesn't
year
matter.
anyways.
That doesn't matter, Susie. We're looking at what the claim is here. Okay, the claim is that we're just we're just criticizing this claim. We're saying this person is saying this image makes them decide that they're now going to full defend. I wonder if Adolf H from World War II. Okay.
No.
If the French insulted Cali, would you be defending that man? Because this is basically in line with that kind of mentality.
I don't want to go down that line of thought. I don't like this
hypothetical. Let's look at another reply. Do you want to read this reply?
Someone saying, too late. I totally will not support Ukraine. Official defense handles deliberately showing their hatred for Hindus, and the account was not even suspended. Ukraine showed their true face.
Yeah. That's insane. This is insane. Okay. Here's another one.
Wait, we missed a super chat by Shikha saying, just look at replies. Hindutva is on wild. I like this grammar for some reason. It just captures it really good. They're not being wild. They're on wild. The setting, on wild. And
right.
We got
read this one?
Pakistani Defense Forces. Susanna, did they threaten your life? Yes. The first death threats I ever got were from Hindus. The only time I've ever had to get the police involved is because of Hindutva. They have threatened my safety 100%.
Yeah. And you read this one? Okay, this guy is responding. This happens when a comedian runs the country.
That's kind of funny.
Wait, can we even show this? I don't know. So
I think
the last
it's fine.
one was
I don't know.
This is we don't accept this. This is disgusting. I don't want to show that. Okay, somebody showing Cali with doing something violent to yeah, I don't even want to say it because YouTube might think we're saying it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I just want to say I can't talk. She kind of saying English is not my first language. You shouldn't make fun of accents. I'm not making fun of your accent, Sheikh. I liked the way you put it. Like I liked the way you put it. For somehow it made it
come on,
more descriptive in a way.
Susanna doesn't make fun of. Susanna loves different accents. She never makes fun of accent. If somebody makes fun of accents, Susanna would be disgusted by it. Susanna, even when I'm not, even when I unintentionally say something that might come off as making fun of people for their nationality, even when I didn't intend to, even if some people might think that I'm saying that, Susanna gets so sensitive about it and makes sure that I correct it. So Susanna is not a person.
Defend me.
No, I don't. No. I don't care if you care.
No, it's like sometimes when someone has an accent or English is their second language, they say things that are technically wrong, but I like the way that they say it more. Like I have a friend from Iran, and he when we're talking about stuff in the US and maybe someone doing something weird, he goes, I mean, who cares? It is a freedom country. Like that's technically grammatically incorrect, right? But I love the way he says it's a freedom country. Like I love it so much.
Yeah,
so I walk around and I'm like, that's right. I live in a freedom country.
Yeah, it's unique.
It's
and
endearing.
That's why it's good. Yeah, endearing. Yeah. Harris is saying, "Oh, Susanna would hate me there." Well, you make accents of people of your own background, so I don't think that's. Yeah, that's different.
People Cosmic Ethan is saying it's okay. Susie has her Drugrat moments. That's right. It's actually fair because people roast me for how I still can't say it.
All right, so let's read some super chats. The first one
Yes.
is from Anish, $5, saying Andrew Tate converting to Islam, then challenging people to burn the Quran. Why do I feel he is somehow a double agent? That's what people are saying. Maybe he's secretly on our side. Yeah, but that's funny. It's not. It's not the case, but that's funny. But thank you for the super chat. GJ complaining again, which is kind of frustrating. I'm getting tired of these complaints. Is saying I ask very much, but thank you for your support. But at the same time, we're not going to change anything, GJ. This is how it's going to work. So this is thank you for your proposal, but seriously, this is what's working for us, and we're going to continue.
Yeah.
So because
Proposal,
AR
split the
has
news
such
and duties and editorial, Susanna versus hosting, Armin and Susanna. That has been the split for the past 3 years. Just ask Secular Rarity 50% to return to Q&A 50% on Sundays. He has his own life. He's volunteering his time, GJ.
Yeah. We're not we're not going to explain to you anymore how we're doing, why we're doing the way we are doing things. Okay, this is how we're doing things. We experiment and we go with what works. Okay, but yeah, so we already told you that we try our best to respond, but this is what's working for us. And also, we're not going to do Q&As because what we're doing with Secular Rarity now is working better than the Q&As. So we're now reviewing. Oh guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because me and Secular Rarity are now going over reviewing Islamic videos by Muhammad Hijab, Ali Dawa, by Daniel Heraju. So we're Smile to Jannah. We go over their nonsense and we react to them, and that has been a lot of fun, and people in our community are welcoming that more than they do with the Q&As. So given that that's getting a better response, we're going to go with that. Whatever gets the best response from you guys, we're going to go with that. So yeah, that's how content creation works. That's that. Anish is giving us another $10 super chat. You want to read this one while I check?
Yeah, Anish is saying, you guys are missing context. India buys Russian oil because the country needs to run, but agrees war on Ukraine is a poor idea. Why pull this SHIT when you're still on such thin ice? Really dumb move. Yeah, I think someone in the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, like, they've been posting these memes even before the war started. So, it's kind of like their own part of their media war is like posting their little pro-Ukrainian memes. And so someone in the ministry like saw this meme, liked it, thought it was a good idea, decided to post it. Like, probably was not aware of the sensitivities around this. They probably had straight up no idea that this sensitivity existed. So why would you pull this when you're on such thin ice? Like, someone didn't know. I really think the explanation is that obvious.
Yeah. Harris is confirming that Andrew Tate is our guy. Well, don't tell that then, because I don't want to have to explain to people why an ex-Muslim is such a misogynist and everything. Sasan is saying, I know oh yeah, see? Sasan is saying, I know I saw basically the show that we're doing, the Secular Rarity thing. He's saying it's much better than the Q&A. There you go. Some people that prefer that. So yeah, we keep on experimenting and see what people react to the most. All right. Do I have the right news up? Is this the right one? I think it is, because
yes.
I was doing okay. Is it clappable?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Next news.
Outrage as Minneapolis allows amplified Muslim cult. I know you messed it up. Okay, let's redo it.
I messed it up. I'm sorry. Okay. Next news.
Outrage as Minneapolis allows amplified Muslim calls for prayer at any time. In a groundbreaking move, Minneapolis recently made history as the first major U.S. city to allow mosques to broadcast the amplified Muslim call to prayer, or the azan, at any time of day. This change, which took effect on April 19th, has been met with celebration from Muslim, Christian, and Jewish leaders alike. However, not everyone is on board with the new ordinance. The Freedom from Religion Foundation, or FFRF for short, is an organization for secular Americans, and they've criticized the decision as religiously slanted, arguing that it favors one religious group's message over others. Quote, allowing religious organizations a special carve-out from Minneapolis's noise ordinance, which is a reasonable restriction meant to foster peace in a quiet community with a well-rested population, is the opposite of equal access, the FFRF said in its message regarding the noise ordinance. Despite the controversy, Muslim leaders remain open to addressing any noise complaints that might arise. So this is really interesting because when you read news stories about this from most major publications, it talks about all these different religious leaders praising this as a really good move that Minneapolis did and it's time and we need to include people, blah, blah, blah. And then I would scroll through the comments and have overwhelmingly negative reactions from people presumably in the Minneapolis area commenting on this, saying that they didn't appreciate this kind of thing. And I think, so the argument from the progressive side is that this is inclusive and that if there are church bells, then we should have the azan. However, they already were allowed to broadcast the azan, just not at certain times of day. So not before 7 o'clock and not after 10 p.m. Now they are allowed to play the azan as early as 3:30 in the morning, amplified so loud that you can hear it as far as 2 blocks away.
What?
According to the news.
What?
According to reports that I have read, you can hear the azan from this mosque at least 2 blocks away. And if I was a property owner in this area, I would be losing my mind. I have so many friends that live in Islamic countries where they live next to a mosque and they will send me videos of the azan going off right outside their bedroom window at the, pitch black. I would be losing my mind. Armin, you know how I am when I am woken up unexpectedly. And Armin, it puts the fear of God into Armin. Susanna has never been a bigger bitch than when I get woken up and I do not want to be woken up. So if I lived in this area and this was suddenly my life because they decided to just unilaterally sign this ordinance in instead of having voters choose, I would be so pissed. And it's so... What frustrates me is that the mayor signed this into law literally inside the mosque. So it could not be more religiously slanted when you're literally signing it into law while seated inside of the mosque. I mean, they do this all the time in Texas and churches and stuff, but it's not okay. They shouldn't at all. And I think the Freedom from Religion Foundation makes a really good point because the progressives are saying, okay, how is this different than church bells? If we have church bells, then we need to do this to be fair. But the Freedom from Religion Foundation is saying that there is a pre-existing noise ordinance that applied to all citizens that already existed. And you are not doing equal access by carving out an exception to the rule for one religious group and only because it is religious message. The carve out in the wording of this ordinance, change in the ordinance, literally says that it's for religious messaging, which inherently privileges religious messaging over non-religious messaging. And I read the letter that the Freedom from Religion Foundation, their lawyer, sent the city of Minneapolis. And in their letter, their legal counsel makes a very good point in saying that in the county where this mosque resides, only 1% of the population is Muslim. 30% of the population in that same county is non-religiously affiliated, according to the most recent polling data. And so if this is supposed to be inclusion, where is the representation for the 30% of the population of this county that is non-religious when the carve out specifically says that this is for religious messaging? Because if there was an atheist who started blasting music, maybe saying Hail Satan or whatever, or anything, any non-religious messaging at 3:30 in the morning, they would have the cops called on them. So it's inherently privileging one message over another.
I don't understand. Okay, so all of that being true, another question is, why? Are you trying to be hated? Is a show of force and relevance so important that you are willing to make more people in the community be frustrated with Muslims just for the sake of getting this win? Because this is about a show of force, a show of power, a show of relevance. Is that really worth?
I
Like,
do
people
not
are going
think
to
it is
hate you for this.
explicitly that, Armin. I think that's
Why is it for
uncharitable.
then?
I think it's
No,
uncharitable to say that it's
no. Wait.
okay.
I
Sorry.
am not saying that. I am trying to figure this out.
Okay.
I'm saying I don't understand the point here. I'm going over the list of things that this could be about, because what do you get out of this other than what I mean, I'm not saying you don't get anything out of this. I'm just trying to think about it. I'm saying, like, the main thing you're going to get out of this is frustration by non-Muslims. Isn't that what you're going to get?
Yeah,
Is that what you want?
I think so.
I mean, wouldn't Muslim organizations' main purpose would be to make Muslims have peaceful lives among non-Muslims? Isn't this? I mean, I think as big of a disservice this is to non-Muslims, is more of a disservice to Muslims, because as a Muslim institution, my main goal would be to make Muslims accepted in a community, and this will make people frustrated. And as much as I'm sorry for the guy that is waking up at 3 a.m. because of the adhan, I am more sorry for the Muslim having to live with the consequences of that, with the backlash from that, from the hate that will come out of that. This is an anti-Muslim move, in my opinion. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do see what you're saying. I do see what you're saying. And I think so. The whole idea is, so in this particular community, there's it's where a lot of the Somali American community is living. And so the whole idea is supposed to, I guess, show them that they're welcome and included in this community and integrate them into the community, blah, 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 by facilitating this religious practice, right? But FFRF has I want to directly quote the letter that their lawyer wrote to them, saying, "It is worth noting that in our modern age of cell phones, alarm clocks, and all manner of digital devices, broadcasting a loud amplified message to an entire community in order to facilitate the religious practice of a select few members of that community is not only unnecessary, but unreasonable." Basically saying, we do not need the azan to facilitate this religious practice. If there are members of the community that want to hear the azan, the call to prayer to remind them to do salah 5 times a day, they have more than enough available technological solutions to have that experience as that individual that they want. But it is unreasonable to carve out an exception to a noise ordinance that otherwise applies to all citizens, so that a select few members of this county can have their religious practice facilitated. I think that is unreasonable.
This is not about reminding people to do the salah. Like, in this day and age, we have alarms, we have calendars. Maybe before all this all computers and internet and phone, maybe that was how people would be reminded. Now it's not. Now it's not the main way. This is having that adhan played at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. in the morning is not about making sure people remember to do their prayers. It's not about that. Okay, it's about something else. I'm not exactly sure what it's about. Okay, because when it comes to making Muslims accepted in a community, this does the opposite. Okay, so what is it about? It might be mostly leftists trying to have a win, have a legal win to show that they're
this is Minneapolis. They tried to abolish the police after George Floyd, right? And then the city council had to have so much personal security. They brought it all back. Or like, how did that go down? Like, come on.
I think I was right then, Susie. You say it was unjustified. I think this is about a show of force. I think when I said this is about a show of force, you think this is unfair because you might think that I'm saying it's a show of force by Muslims. I think might be more of a show of force by progressives.
True.
Showing that they could push that they're like that they're being supporting minorities and stuff like that. Which I mean, if progressives are pushing for this, they're doing the opposite of what they're supposed to do. This is going to put Muslims in danger. This is going to make Muslims hated in a community. You're doing them a disservice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, I'm okay with banning church bells if you want, if anyone wants to be more consistent. Okay.
I saw some interesting arguments in the comment section of the Minnesotan Star Tribune that basically was saying they were arguing that church bells while they are both religious in origin, church bells are inherently different because church bells are merely a sound that usually marks the hour or special occasions, versus the azan is actively a religious proclamation that speaks to the detriment of other faiths. And that was an interesting I hadn't thought about it like that before. I'm like, there is something different there.
Oh, sorry. Let me turn this off. Yeah, but to make that point seems like you're trying to come up with ways to support one religion over another. So I think the heck with it. Either ban them all or at least say control the volume. Don't ban them. Just say this has the volume for all of them. This is the volume limit for all of them. And none of them should even dare thinking about doing that before 9 a.m. or something like that.
Usually
8
it
a.m.
used to be
like
7. For everyone else, the rule is 7 o'clock.
So this is privilege. This is Islamic privilege. This is Islamic privilege. Yeah, nonsense. Yeah. Okay.
So let's go read some of the other super chats. ES1000 said, imagine needing to wake up early and this blares. Yo, I would be losing my mind. You want to see Susanna like a bat out of hell? This is how to do it. Susanna is saying, is this defended by religious freedom legal rights in the United States? Personally, I think that there is a very good argument against this legally, but I'm no lawyer. And there might be people that try to defend this, but I don't know. I think the Freedom from Foundation has some very good arguments against it.
Darko, go back to that. Go back. Oh, wait, go back to that. Wait, I forgot to mention something. I was going to thank the Freedom from Religion Foundation for not holding back because this is Islam. Like, this is something that we need to be very grateful because, a lot of other atheist organizations in the United States go after Christianity, but not after Islam. Freedom from Religion Foundation, which has a history of going after Christian institutions violating secularism, but also is not afraid to do that with Islam, which is very good. Like, guys, Freedom from Religion Foundation is very consistent when it comes to making sure that how they respond to these things. So
I love them. They do great work. And Darko was saying, I just lost the comment, but he was saying, I wonder if this has had an impact on property prices, property values already. And you want to get change done in a city, you start getting property owners mad and things will start changing real quick. Okay. Okay, and I don't know how to say this. Julia Bib gave us 10 pounds, thank you, and saying, wouldn't this overexposure of religions in the West just lead to more tensions and far-right gains? It's kind of what we were talking about earlier. I can see how this could backfire. And Newman just gave us a little super chat, said, love you all. Thank you, Newman. It's good to see you.
And he also got 5 memberships for people. He bought 5
wow. That's so generous. Thank you, Numan. And Mustafa, I thought, had a really interesting comment because Mustafa is an ex-Muslim from Minnesota and is familiar with the community. Saying, I'm not going to lie, a lot of Minnesotans are frustrated with Muslims. The Somali community is so self-isolated and they do that on purpose. Saying, I would equate the self-isolation of the Somali community to that of the Amish or the Orthodox Jewish community. Yeah, it's really interesting. I wonder how that's going to pan out over time. Cool. Should we move to the next segment?
Okay. Wait, yeah. So no, you have 2 more super chats.
Erkin gave us a bunch of Turkish lira, thank you, and saying it's intimidation as usual. I guess, Armin, the reason why I gave you pushback by saying that it's a show of force is that I think when you say that, it sounds like it's so intentionally coercive. And if it is a show of force, I do not think it is explicit. That's why I had a reaction to that, because it makes it seem like Muslims are out there going, we're going to show them, blah, blah, blah. And I really don't think that that is the intention behind that at all. But you're saying that this is the result of it. So I just wanted to be more clear about how we use that rhetoric.
That it's good that you're very careful about that, because we don't want to come and do a creeping Sharia fear-mongering tactic. Yes, you're right. That's a very good point. Okay. Okay, the last super chat is from GJ again. It's saying, I only ask you to experiment, offer the same service level to Africa and Europe that you offer on Wednesdays and Thursdays, splitting all streams into 5 news items, 50% Q&A, not by moving people's agendas. Okay,
We're not
we heard
doing
your
half.
proposal.
We're not
We're
going to
not.
do half a show
no.
one day and half a show another day. That makes no sense.
Yeah, so we heard your proposal, and the answer is no, we're not going to do that. But thank you for the super chat, and thank you for the recommendation. But the answer is no.
Motion has not been seconded.
Yeah. Okay. But thank you. Okay, so can we clap for the next news?
Yes, because this is a rare show of religious unity in India. And you know what finally united India? The gays. The gays have united India. So let's say thank you, LGBT. Unfortunately, it's united in being a punching bag, but
oh no.
Yes, in a way, we have the gays to thank us for bringing a sliver of interreligious harmony to India.
I thought you're gonna say united in supporting them.
Oh, you really did?
Oh,
That's
I
cute.
did.
That's really cute,
Oh.
Armin. Okay, let's.
I was happy for a second.
Okay,
Oh.
let's clap.
Next news.
Next news. United against love. Indian religious leaders unite against gay marriage. In an unusual display of unity, religious leaders from India's major faiths, including Muslim, Christian, Sikh, and Jain communities, have joined forces with Hindu nationalists to oppose same-sex marriage. This comes as India's Supreme Court hears petitions from LGBT organizations seeking to legalize same-sex marriage following the decriminalization of homosexuality in 2018. These religious groups claim that same-sex marriage infringes on holy scriptures and disrupts the quote-unquote natural family order. However, in a progressive move compared to the other groups, the Hindu nationalist group, the Rashtriya Swayamak Sangh, the RSS for short, has a slightly more nuanced take on the issue. While they oppose same-sex marriage in line with the ruling BJP party, they do not oppose same-sex relationships as a whole. And in Asia, Taiwan is currently the only Asian country to have legalized same-sex marriage. India is trying to join the ranks, and the religious groups have joined together and said no. But I love that the Hindutva is the most progressive. They're like, everyone else says that they can't have a relationship altogether. Like, we don't think that they can get married, but it's fine if they have a relationship. That's chill.
The most far-right movement in India is more progressive than the religious groups. That's insane. India is just like a weird case. It's hard to explain it to other people.
It's unfortunate. You know how there's like that meme of like all the different fists, coming together to join hands in the center? So I was imagining that meme with all the different religious groups in India, and then it was like opposing gay marriage in the middle. Like somehow that has united these religious groups. We have the Jamaat Hind side by side with the Jains, side by side with the Sikhs, side by sides with the Hindus, and saying
the Jains as well.
No, thank you. They said no homo.
No homo from all of them. Is this the Buddhists as well? What about the Buddhists? The Buddhists?
I think that there was also a Buddhist group that opposed this as well.
Oh, wow.
Dia saying clapping. No one died.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, let me give you a silver lining.
Okay.
Can I give a silver lining? Okay. I think we should be thankful to show people why we hate all religions, right? So as much as sometimes we're like, oh my God, Islam is uniquely bad about this, or Hinduism is uniquely bad about this, right? It's moment like this where we come together and we realize that when it comes to progress and acceptance and love, they're just all pieces of shit that need to go together. It's just reminding the progressives that religions, what they have in common. And
These are
I think
not
we
good
should thank.
ideologies. We could do better without these ideologies.
Yes. And I think the LGBT community is a good, because when it comes to leftists and progressives and liberals and everything in between, right? When they sometimes like, maybe you should respect people's religion, given how important LGBT rights are to all of these groups that we mentioned, I think it's a good way to remind them, like, really, is this what you guys want? Look at what they all like. These people hate each other, right? But look what they get united on.
Yeah.
This is the key thing that they're united on. So
yeah, this is
thank you for your service.
the only thing that they can agree on.
Yeah.
This as soon as I saw this comment, I nearly fell out of my chair. Divided by religion, united by what? Are you gay? Okay, guys, if you don't know what this is referring to a video by a homophobic Ugandan pastor that it's probably, homophobia isn't funny, but this homophobia is the funniest thing in the world. And when you say it, remember, it's not gay AY. It's gay spelled G-E-Y. What? Are you gay? Oh my god. Okay. And we had a super chat by Gaysian American. That was, I love this. This is funny. He's saying, my brothers in bizarro Eastern religions, decolonize your minds. Taiwan has legalized same-sex marriage under the auspices of the rabbit god. #free love. So he's saying, us dharmic and Eastern, religions, we have more flexibility. We are so much more expansive. We must freeze our minds. Actually, colonization is a huge part, literally, of why we have these laws in these countries. It is colonization. They do need decolonization.
Yeah.
We want to talk about post-colonial identity crisis. How about we get rid of these British era natural order laws? This comes from the British.
Okay, sorry. But don't throw everything from the British. They also brought a lot of good things. But this one, yeah, get rid of this one.
They also brought the blasphemy laws.
Yes. But they also brought good things. Also. All right. So yeah, we already read that one.
I'm sorry, I still can't get over. What? Are you gay? I swear to God, it's one of the funniest things. I had a moment recently where I won't explain the context because it's like in my personal life, but I saw two men doing something, and in my head, I went, "What? Are you gay?" It's infected my mind.
By the way, for everybody, Susanna is herself LGBT. So
yeah.
So if you think she's being hateful to LGBT, she herself is LGBT. So
I am gay. I look in the mirror and I say, "Why are you gay?"
Okay. Oh my God.
Going on dates with women. Why are you gay?
All right, read this one.
Okay. Saslan is saying, but the Jain are peace-loving, and I think also accepting of difference between people. But I suppose Armin is right. There's no good religion at all.
Okay, I don't give credit to any religion, any nonsensical idea for being peaceful. Okay, because it's not that hard to be like, let's not murder people. Okay, and some ideologies are like, hey, we don't murder people, therefore buy all our nonsense, all our BS, right?
Also, sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, it's like me coming out with a book of absolute nonsense, and just because I didn't ask anybody to behead anybody in that book, I use that as a selling tactic to sell all of that nonsense. That's not. You shouldn't give credit to ideologies for not murdering people. It's easy not to murder people. Okay, so I just want to highlight that a lot of these
Yeah.
ideologies sell themselves just because they have managed to not ask for blood.
Also, like, Jainism is not as chill as people think it is. Like,
No,
Jainism
it's not.
is very, like, probably the most sex negative religion I've ever heard of.
Yes, they share that. A lot of them share that.
Like, Islam is way more sex positive than Jainism. Like,
Well, Islam is sex positive exactly where you shouldn't be sex positive, in all the wrong places. Wait, where's the? Oh, so Anish is using his membership, celebrating his 1 month membership to say, Brits did not bring some good things. Please, really, really, they did not bring any good things. Anish, are you sure about that? Because I could
India
challenge
would
you on that.
literally not be a united federal state if it wasn't for the British.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe you could say
at least
that
they
itself
brought
is not a
India.
good thing, but India
Oh,
would
yeah.
not be a centralized nation if it wasn't for the British. It'd be a collection of different little states and civilizations and clans.
They brought science and technology and infrastructure and a lot of systems. They brought a lot of things. I mean, I'm not endorsing a lot of the evil stuff
Oh
that they
yeah,
did.
let's
Which is
not
bad.
kid
Yeah,
ourselves. There was straight up barbarism that they also brought to the
yeah,
continent. So
yeah. But they also brought a good thing. I'm tempted to show the video from the Monty Python, the part that they said the Romans. What did the Romans do ever for us? And people keep listening. Do you know that's? Should I show that?
yeah. Is that from the Life of Brian? We shouldn't show that
Wait.
though because that's gonna get us marked because that's from a movie.
Isn't
Armin,
that
we
so
could.
old? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Just search what did the Romans ever do for us? Just watch
Yeah,
that.
what did
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Romans ever do for
What
us?
have the Romans ever? Yeah, exactly. Watch that. That's pretty good.
Oh my God, Armin, do you remember that video that I showed you the other day where it was that guy yelling at an English dude and he's saying, "What civilization? What civilization did you have? You needed the Romans to F you in the ass to get any semblance of civilization. You want to talk shit about Asians? What the fuck do you have on Asia?"
Oh yeah. Yeah,
he's like,
remember
"I have
that.
nothing on Asia." That's right. You have nothing on Asia. Like, you want to be racist? I can be way more racist. I watch that video, I swear to God, like one time every day because it makes me laugh so hard. You needed the Romans to F you in your ass to get any civilization.
That's really good. Oh god.
Oh my God.
Oh, we did get another super chat, which I don't understand.
Oh,
Religion
he's
belongs
saying,
in.
Asian American is
No.
saying religions belong in animes, not a guide to life.
Okay.
Meaning, like,
What does that mean?
if like you make religion into like an anime, like that'd be a cool show, right? That'd be an
Oh, yeah.
entertaining show.
Yeah.
That'd be a dope anime.
Ooh, I want to see Islamic anime. Well, not.
Yeah.
There is a lot of Islamic anime, but I mean, made by actual Japan,
Yeah.
like a whole series. That would be cool.
That would be pretty badass.
That would be pretty badass. All right.
And there was
Can we
also
clap
a
for
sorry, I just
Oh.
have to say there was a comment by Mustafa saying, "I'm a journalist and I was interviewing a gay rights activist and I wanted to ask, what are you gay?"
that?
I just want to say I can't be the only bisexual out here that just looks at myself sometimes when I'm just losing my mind over women and goes, "What are you gay?" It's called bisexual culture, and I would like you guys to respect my culture. That's all I'm asking.
Oh my god, we should cut that part out. That's pretty good. Oh, we got another super chat by Gaging American, which is going to show up very soon on StreamYard. Here's another super chat saying, "Are you going to defend Mao next? Wait, why would you defend Mao?
I'm confused.
Yes.
What's the
No, we're not
connection?
gonna. I don't know the connection, but no, we're not gonna defend Mao ever.
No, thank
Can we
you.
clap for the? No, thank you, but thank you for the super chat. Can we clap for the next news?
Sure.
Next news.
Next news. How social media giants turn a blind eye to Hindu nationalist hate speech. Social media giants are under fire for turning a blind eye to Hindu nationalist hate speech, allowing divisive content to spread like wildfire. Kajal Shingala, a charismatic figure in the Hindu nationalist movement, skyrocketed to fame by posting inflammatory content against Muslims and the detractors of the BJP party and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. From the beginning, it was clear that Shingala was pro-BJP, pro-Modi, and pro-Hindutva, while attacking critics of Prime Minister Modi and the BJP and engaging in hate speech against Muslims, Christians, and even secular Hindus, who she described as a blot and curse on Hinduism. Since then, she has expanded her social media presence to other sites like YouTube and Twitter, with more than 36,000 and 123,000 followers, respectively. But Shingala has the most presence on Facebook, with close to 400,000 followers as of 2022. Although her accounts faced initial bans due to hate speech violations, Shingala's popularity continued to soar, even attracting attention from politicians and even including a follow on Twitter from Modi himself. As she passionately calls for economic boycotts against Muslims, critics argue that the Indian government and social media behemoths like Meta, Twitter, and YouTube must take responsibility for the unchecked rise of influencers like Shingala who fuel hatred and conspiracy theories. So I wanted to cover this because I read a very interesting and very thorough investigative piece about this female Hindu nationalist figure. And it profiled, like, over the span of 4 or 5 years, this woman's transformation into a Hindutva influencer. And it was really interesting because originally she used to just be a mom and a businesswoman. And there was this incident that happened on a campus or something that awakened her Hindu nationalism, essentially. And she used to kind of just be an influencer and just talk about her political takes and stuff. And she used to wear very Western outfits, like, turtlenecks, little gold chains, like pants. I guess typical Western outfits. And now over the years, she only appears in saris in the more traditional kameez, and she's completely changed her image. She sometimes goes by the name Kajal Hindustani. That's kind of one of her monikers. And she's just kind of exploded onto the scene. And she's done this kind of outside of the traditional ways that Hindutva get power within their own communities. So there are a lot of Hindutva activists who do community organizing on the ground that resent her because they say, no, she's not actually involved in doing this hard work in the real community. She just gains attention online and then can give speeches to thousands because she's garnered this influence. And it's interesting because in the article, they suspect, according to Hindutva insiders that they interviewed on the condition of anonymity, that she was arrested one time for hate speeches. And they say they think that she was only arrested back then because she was not actually part of the real Hindutva establishment at that point. Because there are other Hindutva activists who came up in the more traditional way of doing it through Bajrang Dal, for example, and they don't face arrest because they have actually earned the credibility and support of the local authorities so that they're protected, essentially. And she didn't face that. And this article did a really good job talking about how profiling in great detail all the ways in which she violates the terms and services for all of these, big social media platforms. And then also talks about why these platforms are completely disincentivized towards actually enforcing their own policies. And this is because India is too big of a market. And it's gotten to the point where they don't even enforce their policies even on English language content as much. Because, it's more difficult when it's in the myriad of different Indian languages, right? But then even when this content that is so explicitly hateful, that is so obviously against TOS is even in English, it's still not getting removed and still not facing enforcement the way that it should. So I was a really well-written piece, and it brought a lot of that stuff to light. So with all that context, Armin, what do you think of this?
I mean, we already knew how much the social media companies had to give in to the demands of BJP, given that, I mean, given how aggressively they came after everybody that was criticizing Hinduism or doing blasphemous stuff about Hinduism, right? So this is to be expected. I mean, to be fair, we used to be upset with I used to be upset about social media companies until I realized that they're actually under pressure themselves. Like, their offices in India were raided by Hindutva because they weren't enforcing the laws in the way they wanted. And
Well,
India is
the offices of Twitter were raided by the Delhi police.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And the BBC was also raided recently because of a documentary they made, right?
Yeah, but you shouldn't say it was raided by Hindutva. It was really raided by the police.
Yeah. Okay, I was corrected. So yeah, thank you. But also what was I saying? Oh, also the fact that India is such a giant market, and you kind of have to bend the knee to their laws, even if we don't like the laws, because it's really devastating to these giant companies to lose that market. I do think they are bluffing about cutting them complete. No, they're not bluffing. I mean, they raid their offices and stuff. So that is like very unsafe environments for their employees if they wanted to challenge the BJP. So it's not just that they have double standards when it comes to enforcing the community standards on pro BJP accounts and not enforcing. They also enforce their rules upon people who are not violating their community standards because they're anti-BJP. So it goes both ways. So you could be calling it for genocide of Muslims, but because you're a major BJP account and you're so clearly violating Facebook's or Twitter's community standards, you don't get a reaction. But at the same time, I post an image of Cali, and I'm clearly not violating any of Twitter's or Facebook's community standards, and I lost my Twitter account. Atheist Republic lost its Twitter account, and we got strikes on Facebook. But now, at least they did something. At least I got my Twitter account back eventually when Elon came, and Atheist Republic also came back. But both my personal Twitter account and Atheist Republic Twitter's account and my personal Facebook account and Atheist Republic Facebook account is blocked in India. So if you're in India without a VPN, you can't see my Twitter account. But I have my Twitter account back, which means I didn't violate any of the terms of service on Twitter.
If you live in India, you cannot even message you as a private individual on Facebook because of the blocks against you.
Not just the Atheist Republic Facebook account. My individual personal account, somebody from India cannot even message me. I have been blacklisted in India, and my account has not been removed, which means that Facebook recognizes that I didn't violate any of Facebook community standards. But because of India's court system's request, India's court system had filed something against me, which forced Facebook to block me in India. You can't access me in India. I am invisible in India. You have to use a By the way, guys, NordVPN, we have a link. We have an affiliate link to NordVPN in the description. If you don't have a VPN and you would like to see my Twitter account and my Facebook account, you could use a VPN. Use the affiliate link in the description. And yeah, given that India is becoming more and more like Pakistan, and now even like Iran, because of all these the fact that you have to use VPNs there to be able to see things that the BGP doesn't want you to see. Now more than ever, more Indians need to get VPNs. Use our affiliate link for NordVPN to also support us in return. But yeah, this is bizarre. This is this is getting worse. It's constantly getting worse. I don't know where this is going to go. But at some point, I think Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, they need to. It's going to explode at some point. They're going to be called out for being they're going to have blood on their hand. Like they're going to be. It's going to be
Facebook already has blood on their hands. It's called the Rohingya genocide.
yes, it's going to be so easily demonstrable how, if at some point a genocide happens in India, that Twitter and Facebook were complicit and they knew it and they had the data to know that they were doing something, that they were responsible for this, and they didn't do anything about it. So this is going to be very dangerous. Like, I mean, we're trying to highlight how much Facebook and Twitter are one-sided about this. They remove us for blaspheming Hinduism, and they don't remove people that are actively calling for genocide of people because they're part of the. We call out BGP, we get removed, but BGP accounts don't get removed, even though they're asking for things that are not just against community standards of Facebook, but against international law, against Indian law and international law.
Yeah. I think
there are human rights violations. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And they say it, they know it's true because they talk about it in their own transparency reports. I think there was an incident recently where Elon Musk was confronted about his hypocrisy on the Indian issue, and basically I can't remember exactly what he said, but in not so many words, he basically said it's just too hard to have free speech in India. Like, he just kind of gave up. And so I actually want to do a full news segment about that probably next week, because it deserves its own highlighting, because this guy that's supposed to be so free speech and like a promoter of these values is patently on his face just saying, no, this is something that basically like white people get, because it's just too hard to enforce it over there. It's disgusting. So I'm going to put that on the list to talk about next week.
Okay, that's good that we can.
Exactly. He pretty much said that India is too difficult to handle. We can't mess with them. So he's just going to just visibly hold a double standard. It's bigotry of low expectations in a way. Good comment from D. She's saying so many people got accounts deactivated simply for sharing memes, including me. So allowing this hate speech is absurd. She added, Facebook also axes atheist groups with no warning and without explanation. It's systematic, because I talk with other administrators about this, right? It's a systematic issue that we face.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I haven't gotten the next news ready. Let's go through these other ones a little bit faster, because I have a show coming up in Persian on the Persian YouTube.
Oh, that's true.
Okay.
We had so many good stories to talk about this week. It just, the show is going very long, but it's so good. It's worth it.
Oh, I'm gonna, once I do the clap, don't say anything. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna be back. Okay. All right. Oh, it's not clappable.
Oh man, this is definitely this is our worst news this week, unfortunately.
Okay, guys, just one really bad news only this week. Okay. All right, next news then. Hold on.
Next news. Barbaric act of honor killing. Pakistani man sets wife on fire. A harrowing domestic violence incident in Pakistan's Punjab district have reignited concerns over the country's increasing honor killings. In Chichawantni, 209 kilometers from Lahore, a man named Tariq viciously burned his estranged 40-year-old wife, Shazia, to death after suspecting her of having an affair. Shazia, who left her husband due to escalating domestic disputes, died upon arrival at the hospital, leaving behind 6 children. According to the police, Tariq suspected Shazia was in a relationship with a man in his area. He visited his in-laws, where he doused Shazia in gasoline before setting her on fire and leaving the area. She died upon arrival at the hospital. Pakistan's Human Rights Commission reports an average of 650 honor killings annually over the past decade. However, the actual figures could be significantly higher, as many cases remain unreported. These recent cases highlight the urgency for action to combat this brutal practice. So some of the backstory is that there was this woman, she was married, and she was having domestic issues with her husband that were apparently so bad that she had to go return to her in-laws' house. Now, personally, that tells me that she was probably being beaten so badly that she needed to go home to her parents' house, because my impression is that culturally, people do not leave the home of their husband unless things are at a point where it's insanely bad, right? Like, this isn't just like, oh, domestic fighting. Like, she's probably being severely abused to have her actually face the issues of losing face in front of the community for leaving her husband's house. Do you see what I'm saying? Correct me if I'm wrong. That's the impression I have of how that's treated culturally, right? And
your manhood is being challenged.
Exactly. So while she was back at her in-laws' household, her parents' household, I should say, he suspected that she was having an affair, that she was cheating on him. I don't know why he suspected that, but that's what's been reported. And so he went over to where she was staying and attacked her and killed the mother of his 6 children.
So what would you say if somebody says, like, why are you guys covering this? This has nothing to do with religion.
Well, I mean, this is a practice that exists outside of religion, but it is also a practice that is, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not endorsed by religion, but the attitudes that are promoted in the religion reinforce the factors that contribute to this specific kind of gender-based violence, because it promotes ownership of women. Primarily, that's one of the primary ways in which it facilitates this kind of violence.
And honor culture and wife beating. So it creates an environment where this is more likely to happen. And this is why we see it more likely to happen in Muslim communities, which is a source of fighting right now going on between Pakistani Defense Force and Harris Sultan in the live chat. So
what's going down?
Pakistan Defense Force was saying it's not just Pakistan. I heard similar stories in India too. This doesn't just happen in Pakistan.
True, that's true. But proportionally, it happens more in Pakistan than other places. Because think about the size of Pakistan and the size of Pakistan's population. According to it's hard to find data on this. According to some data I found about honor killings, and it was outdated data too, it said that Pakistan accounted for 1/5 of the world's honor killing. When you look at that proportionally in comparison to the rest of the countries, it was that 1/5 is actually wildly overrepresented than the other populations. So I'm assuming that's basically what Harris is arguing in response.
Yes, exactly. So Pakistan Defense Force was saying it doesn't happen more in Pakistan. Harris was saying, yes, it happens 10 times more in Pakistan than India. And then Pakistan Defense Force was saying, this is a horrific story, but the point is that it happens all over the world. And Harris says, yeah, no. Then Pakistan Defense Force was saying, I saw a story the other day of a woman being beaten by her husband in the UK.
That's different than honor killing.
That's different, yeah. And also Harris was saying, yeah, you saw a story here in Pakistan. It happens more than any other country. India is a distant second. And Harris was saying, seeing a story doesn't mean anything. Look at the effing stats. Exactly. Like, this is not a good way to come up with conclusions, Pakistani Defense Force. I saw this happening in other places. That's not a good representation of how often this happens. Pakistan, you have to look at the numbers, and this happens in Pakistan a lot more than other places. There was a question by Sasan. Did you want to address that before I look at the live chat to see?
Sasan, did he know that she was cheating or just suspect that she was cheating? Well, whatever the answer is, neither justify what happened. I know that you think that's Sasan, but it's just worth saying. And there's not enough information that's been reported about if that actually happened. Now, personally, I suspect that this is complete speculation. I don't think that was actually happening.
Mm-hmm. All right, read this while I catch the next news.
Darko is saying, I cringe every time I hear honor killing. Nothing honorable about it. Yeah, it's kind of like a misnomer. So sometimes I think the word honor-based killing is a little bit more appropriate because it kind of helps pull apart how it's the protection of honor that's causing the murder. It's not that the murder itself is honorable, but yeah.
Yeah. Can we clap for the next news?
We can clap because no one died.
Nobody died. Next news.
Next news, Iranian clerics war on hijablessness. Businesses closed and jobs lost. Iran's strict enforcement of mandatory hijab laws has led to widespread unemployment, with thousands of Iranians losing their jobs as businesses shut down due to non-compliance. In March alone, at least 2,000 businesses were closed, while in Tehran, 13 cafes and restaurants were forced to shut their doors. The Opal Mall, a significant shopping center in northern Iran, experienced closure, affecting over 450 establishments and 2,500 jobs. Despite the economic turmoil, Iran's supreme leader Ali Khamenei remains steadfast in his support for hijab enforcement. However, the crackdown has ignited debate among legal experts and scholars. Law professor Mohammad Mansouri Burojeni questioned the logic behind the closures, stating, quote, "Has anyone ever heard of a street being banned because a murder happened there? Businesses cannot be sealed because someone has removed their hijab there." With tensions rising, Iran's unwavering commitment to mandatory hijab laws comes at a significant cost to its economy and people. So, Armin, according to some estimates that I saw, I don't know how accurate this is. Some reporting said that there are tens of thousands of jobs that have been lost because businesses are being forcibly closed due to hijab enforcement. I don't know if it's tens of thousands, but at least thousands of people are now unemployed because their employers are shut down because they're not mandating that women are wearing the hijab while within their establishment. So what have you heard about this on the Persian side of things?
I've been hearing contradictory reports.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which one is true. So don't trust anything I'm saying here. I'm just telling you what people are saying. Okay. I'm hearing some people saying this is really bad for them, but I'm also hearing counter arguments that I don't know, always, or at least in some instances, this is good for them business wise. Because, and some stores are trying to get shut down because it's a marketing. It's a great marketing because a lot of people, because so they're going out and shutting stores down for letting in women without hijab, and then after a while they reopen them. And when they reopened, a lot of people like to go support them because they were letting in women without hijab, and also their names are mentioned on social media. And it's kind of like, and if you're a store which allows women without hijab in, it kind of signals that you're a cool place to hang out. You know what I mean? So you're like you're one of those, cooler place, right? So
we're
some
so
people are saying
liberal
that,
and hip. Look at us. We got
yeah,
how countercultural, how punk rock. We got shut down for civil disobedience. And then people are going to rally around the business and go above to support them when they open up again. Is that the idea?
yeah. And you know who's claiming that? Government officials like this. I don't know. So
What?
so I'm not saying this. This is not the opposition saying this. Government officials, like I saw videos of government officials saying that some stores are trying to get shut down. Like this is backfiring, right?
Yeah.
So Opal, for example, here's another thing. Opal, which was like a big mall with so many different stores, the entirety of the mall, like that's a really popular big giant mall, that was
it's one of
closed
the
down.
largest malls in the world.
Yeah, that was the entirety was shut down because they weren't enforcing hijab laws and people were coming in without hijab. And when they were reopened, listen to this. This is like, don't research right now. This is interesting. There was one store that put on Instagram. No, wait, don't research anything. I want you to listen to this. I know I can still see that you're researching. Okay. No, wait. I know you're pretending that not research, but I can tell that you research. You can't hide it. You're muted. Okay. So there was one store, okay, that said we're put on Instagram a story saying that we're open again and we're going to give a 50% discount for anybody that shows up without hijab. Okay. And but the police showed up there and they were harassing the store owner who posted that. So it was so bad. They were like, the video was so aggressive, right? But she
Mhm.
like that was the response, right? The day that was open, they put a story of like, yeah, we're back and 50% off. Like this is that this but like they took a screenshot of the story and they were like in the woman's face, like, did you post this? Did you? It was so aggressive. It was so disgusting the way they were addressing that they were dealing with that woman. But I really think this is looking really bad. This violates Islamic Republic's own laws. There is no law. There is no, within Iran's law. There is nothing that lets you do that.
What
There
do you
is
mean?
nothing that's like you can't shut down a store within the existing legal framework of Iran because they're not enforcing the law. The people, the citizens are not responsible for enforcing the law. And this is what a lot of legal, even religious legal, pro-regime legal experts are complaining about this in Iran. They're like, what you're executing a law that does not exist. We don't have a legal framework for you to be able to go and say that we're shutting this store down because you let non-hijabi in. This is we don't have any law for that. You're just enforcing things, and you're making a mockery out of our legal system because you just made something up that we don't have on the books. So it's they're saying this is embarrassing that you guys even anti pro-regime, pro-hijab, pro-mandatory hijab people are complaining about how what are you doing? This is not based on any laws that we have. And also a lot of people are saying, like, a lot of store owners are complaining about, what do you guys want us to do? We're not the police. Like, we can't do this. I mean, they're like, don't let women in without the hijab. I'm like, half of the people are now in Upper Tehran without hijab. Like, we can't like just close the. I mean, have you seen? Should I show videos of malls in Iran right now?
Yes, do it. I mean, I've seen them, but for our audience, because I remember watching this with you a few months ago. There's, I mean, even more nowadays that are crazy. And I asked you what you thought when you saw this, and you're like, I feel like I'm watching just a video in any normal developed city or any developed nation. But then I remember that this is inside Iran, and suddenly I feel like I'm looking at these women naked. Because like that was the reaction you're used to having when you were growing up there, is when you would see a woman like this, it was as if you were seeing her naked. That's how shocking it felt. But then to see so many people doing this publicly, that was super interesting perspective.
So this is, which mall is this? I don't know which mall this is, but here. This is, oh,
Wait,
should I
don't play
cut
the
down the
music.
music? Don't play the music, okay. But so let's see. So this woman behind the counter, she had the hijab. This is in Iran. This is in a country where mandatory hijab law, and people are like just walking. Look, the no hijab, some hijab. I see, like, okay, I saw some hijab. Okay, there's hijab here, no hijab here, no hijab here. Like this woman. Hijab, no hijab, no hijab, no hijab.
Oh, those zaytun looks good.
No hijab, no hijab. Some hijab here.
Oh, they got Starbucks.
Yeah. But that's not Starbucks. They don't have Starbucks. Starbucks is American. They just made it look like Starbucks.
Okay.
Oh no, this is Starbucks. I think you mean like the. Oh yeah,
it literally
right.
says Starbucks on it.
I thought you meant this. I didn't see the one before it. Yeah. So some hijab again.
So many American brands. It's so funny.
Hijab, no hijab. See, this is like, if they don't let people with that, like, it's too late.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
You can't undo this. You're done. You guys are done. There's no way to undo this. It's just people are just casually not wearing the hijab. It's impossible to undo this.
Yeah.
Look, and they're like that.
A lot of them still wear the manteau. Because for those who don't know, the hijab is not only mandatory headscarf. Women also have to wear longer coats that kind of cover their bums and kind of cut off at the thighs. It's called the manteau.
No hijab.
See, like, you still see a lot of women wearing the manteau.
Yes. Well, she's not wearing it. Look.
No.
She's trying to have the both worlds. She said, like, look, I'm hip, but kind of like wearing kind of something like the hijab as
Stylish.
well. She's like, don't judge me with my hijab. Judge me based on how stylish I am.
I mean, girl, I get it. No. It was funny when I was watching this a few months ago, like, I was thinking about the proportion of women that I see wearing hijab in this video was like the same as it was when I was living in Vienna. Like, this could be Vienna.
Yeah. Like, oh, this is clever. This is like, I don't wear the hijab, but I have the hijab around my neck just in case somebody tells me to wear the hijab. So actually, this is good because you turn your hijab into a shawl around your neck, and if there are places where they're like, you can't get in without your hijab, you just put it on your head, you get in, and then you take it off.
Yeah.
So you get at a metro, and there's guards at the metro. They're like, we don't provide services you can't get in without hijab. So you just for 2 seconds you put the hijab on, you get in, and then you take it off. That's how it works. Because you only need to have it at the entrance. I mean, here's the this is the problem. What is the mall supposed to do? Because they shut down the mall, if they come out and see that people are without hijab. Okay, so the mall is like, what are we supposed to do? Like, well, don't let people in if they don't have the hijab. Like, dude, even if we do that, they're gonna take it off once they're in. You want us to chase them down all around the mall? Like, we can't do that.
Well, Armin,
we're not the police.
Why they've started using video surveillance to start facial tracking people to find them for hijab non-compliance.
But they're not working. They just recently came out with a report that they're not working. They can't recognize. They're sending warnings to blonde men because for some reason because for not having a hijab on. Men to men. For some reason, every man that colors his hair like is getting a warning for not having a hijab. I don't like. It's a very frustrating.
So they spent so much money getting all this technology from the Chinese, and then it's just flagging blonde men.
No, and also there's some of them that are supposed to be automated, which they're all misfiring, and some of them are supposed to be based on people's report, and people are flooding them with false reports. So a lot of very hijabi people are getting warnings about not having hijab. So religious people with the full chador are getting reports, like getting warnings that you have been reported seeing without a hijab. And
it's so weird because if you think about it, it's as if the government is texting you like, you whore. So the idea of all these Chadori women basically being told by the government, you whore, it's kind of funny to me.
Oh, somebody's saying this is Opal. Also, this is Opal. So that's that's the mall. That was okay. I didn't know this is Opal. So and also they're saying that the advanced cameras that they done that was supposed to do facial recognitions, they're not good at all. Like they can't do facial recognitions. It's flawed. It's completely it's not working. So they're screwed. They're screwed, and that's why religious people, very religious people, look, even even the ad was not hijabi. Look, the ad is not hijabi. What the hell? This was not allowed back in my time. You couldn't have an ad like this. Like you can see the entire body. Like how are they having this? In my time, when I was in Iran, you wouldn't be able to have an ad like this on the wall. You could see the body and everything. In my day, back in my day, I sound like an old man. No. Okay, but very religious people are now trying to enforce the laws themselves. And they're so angry with the government. They're just saying, so it's turning religious people against liberal people. They're chasing, and that's why some people sometimes die. Because, anyways, one woman just recently died because religious people are going around and trying to enforce the laws themselves.
Harass people, intimidate people.
Yeah. Anyways, this is the new Iran.
Wow. The times, they are a-changing, I tell you.
The times changing, yeah. Oh, by the way, guys, that's just one video. There is, let me actually show you this. This is now Iranians outside of Iran love watching this because they're not in Iran and they're shocked about what's happening, right? So if you actually go on YouTube, there's like this has become a major content source for people. Like that, I just showed you one video. There is like endless number of videos of Iranian women in Iran, and they just get thousands of views. So of what Iran is becoming. So yeah, you could go check them out. Susie, come back. Look at all these videos. Look at all these videos people are making about like bragging about how
Iran or
liberal
Europe. That's literally the thumbnail.
Iran or Europe.
I mean, literally.
Oh my god.
Because it doesn't look like America, because you don't see that many hijabis in America. But in Europe, if you're out in public, like you do see a lot of hijabis. So I would say, like, when I see that mall, it was like walking around a mall in Germany.
Okay, this is exaggeration. They're not walking around like that. I think they just have a realistic picture in the background, and they just crop somebody that is showing like something that is definitely not in there. You know what I mean? This one is not. One of these women is not like their others. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see this one?
Crop top. We're doing crop tops now.
That's not there. That's just added to the thumbnail for shock value. Anyways, we should. Oh my god, I have like. Okay, let's do the next one fast because I have like 10 minutes to get to.
Yeah.
Show. Yeah.
Okay. So.
Oh wait, we got a super chat. Erkin is saying, to be honest, it doesn't look quite different from Ankara. That's a big thing. For Tehran to be like Turkey. Turkey is not a theocracy. What you're saying is huge for Iran to be at that level. This is to Iran, it has mandatory hijab laws. So to get to the level of Ankara is major for Iran. So
that's pretty crazy when you think about it.
Yeah. All right. Can we clap?
Sure.
Next news.
This is very quick. We found out recently that there is an openly atheist candidate running for Congress. So in California's 30th district, Josh Bocanegra is going to be running for Congress as an open atheist. And Josh actually used to write for Atheist Republic a few years ago. And we thought that was interesting. This is an endorsement of him or his policies, mainly just an educational announcement that there is an open atheist running for Congress. So that's pretty cool because we do need more representation in our Congress because we represent more and more of the population, but that's not reflected in our politicians. So I thought that was interesting.
Yes. So just to be clear, this is not an endorsement. Okay. This is just something that is happening. So we wanted to mention it. And also the reason we should, as a Atheist Republic, as a 501c, we don't endorse any candidates or stuff, but it is worthy news items that you could go check if you wanted to. You could do some research. Again, what is the person's name? Because
Josh Bocanegra, and he's running for Congress in California's 30th district.
Yes. Okay. So guys, do your own research on.
Where is that? Is that SoCal? Linda Vista. Where's Linda Vista? Oh, it's in part of Los Angeles. Cool. So if you're in Los Angeles and are a part of California's 30th,
yes,
you have an atheist running for Congress. How cool is that?
Yeah, Susanna is saying, good to hear, but I doubt he'll be successful. Well, yeah, but people should. It takes effort. Like people have to start somewhere, right?
Well,
we have to.
The only openly humanist congressman is Jared Huffman, and he's representing part of Southern California. So if it's going to be anywhere, it's likely to be California.
Yeah. So I was saying, oh, he might have a chance in LA. Yes.
Oh my God, we have a celebrity guest that just appeared in the live chat.
Is it him or is it really him?
Let me do a quick double check.
Yeah.
Do we have the little verification on there? Wait. Damn it.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. Okay.
It is because the presence of our prophet is a very serious business, and we need to make sure that this is the one and only the last prophet, okay? No imposters. And our prophet, he is saying, who wants to sign up for my course and get a PhD, a pimping hose degree, from my war room for only $49.99 a month? Alhamdulillah, I'm a Muslim, by the way.
I think he's not taking the fact that he's being blocked by Andrew Tate very well. So he's trying to.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but Apostate Prophet, I don't know if you've heard, but I joined you in the Andrew Tate's jail. We're both stuck in the Matrix now.
On the block list. Brothers in block lists. Yes, the new badge of honor is being blocked by Andrew Tate. That's the new ex-Muslim badge of honor.
We added this to the news before I was blocked. Like we were gonna talk about Apostate Prophet being blocked by Andrew Tate, but while we had this on the news, in the meantime, I got blocked by Andrew Tate as well. So I'm just happy to be at least in good company while I'm blocked, but I'm deeply saddened at the same time that we are now no way of finding a way to get out of the Matrix. We're all both stuck in the Matrix.
We're stuck in the Matrix. We're stuck in the Matrix forever, man. Okay, Armin, I know that you have to run to your next show.
I have to go
really quickly, but I have a very important announcement to make, and I'll make it very quick. Basically, guys, Atheist Republic is looking for some volunteers for some very specific positions. Not even volunteers. Maybe you're someone that has a kind of expertise that we're looking for. Basically, I am looking for a bookkeeper. I am looking for a CPA, okay? I am looking with someone who has financial expertise. Like that's their job. Okay. This is nuanced information that I need. So if you are involved in bookkeeping, CPAs, accounting, anything in that sphere, and you'd like to work with us, please reach out to me at Susanna at atheistrepublic.com. That's my personal email. This is something that we need a little bit of help on. We have some questions because Armin and I, we had a very complicated financial thing that we figured out this past week. That was very complicated, but I did it. God damn it. Anyways, so
this no accounting background, you still did it. Yeah, good job.
Yeah. That was tough, but I freaking did it. Anyways, I'm proud of myself. We're looking for CPAs and bookkeepers. So if you're interested, please reach out to me at Susanna at atheistrepublic.com.
Yeah. But Susanna is a great CEO. Like she budgeting, accounting, she has no experience in, and she's like trying to learn this while fix our finances and stuff. So amazing. It was intimidating, but you've somehow managed to figure it out. So that's good. But we need help. Yeah. So please email Susanna, and you would be the great thing about it is that you would be working with Susanna. So
ooh.
Yeah, but we can't pay you because we're poor, but we can. That's all we have to offer. But yeah, please, if you could help us, that would be very, very helpful.
I mean, basically, I'm looking for someone who has enough expertise to help me approve the work that I ask freelancers to do. That's mainly what I'm looking for. Someone who has enough knowledge to say, yes, this fulfills the criteria. This fulfills our acceptance criteria. Because if you don't have detailed experience, sometimes it's hard to know if that fills our needs. Anyways, Armin has to run because he has to go do things in Farsi.
Yeah, but Susan is saying, thank you for another great news episode, AR. Thank you, Susan. And also saying, Azizam Susi, good for you.
Oh,
all right. I have to start the show like 5 minutes before we go live. And so I have like literally 3 minutes to start the show.
Okay.
No time to go drink water or anything else. So
go.
All
right, guys. Thank you. Everyone. It was a lot of fun today.
Guys, please like and subscribe. Subscribe if you like our show. Make sure you subscribe because we do this every week. And we'll see you again next week. Bye.